So you said no sex before marriage?
No. You said no sex before marriage. I couldn't even say that's cool. He said no kissing before the woman that I want to meet for the rest of my life.
Yeah, because he said he wanted to be special.
He wants to save his first kiss for.
Oh, he really is. He really is special.
You can't say that, man.
Nah, man.
Everyone's different.
I can't remember my first
If that's
kiss
what he
properly,
wants
though.
to do, then just
That's
let
how.
it be.
Honestly, I thought it was really sweet.
Okay, it's really sweet, but
It's really sweet.
It
You
was
wouldn't want to
stolen.
be with a man like that.
He's a
Man, like
dickhead.
what?
if this man, your husband, told you I was waiting,
Listen.
You would have backed out immediately.
See,
This
man
day
are
is
savage,
over.
You cannot
Yeah.
tell me that.
Fuck care.
Well,
Call
savage,
me.
you know.
Call me
Wait,
and
wait,
pretend
no.
that you're my mum because I need to get out.
Let me say this.
Go on,
And I can
let
tell
me
you.
hear
I'll tell you this for free.
Get
right?
him.
There's an exclusive
Get
just for
him.
this pod. Don't let her fool you. Right? You see this young lady here? Savage from day.
No, I
right?
think
She
that
looks very
is
innocent.
sweet.
Yo, I've taken off. Let me land.
I think
okay?
it's sweet.
She's saying she thinks it's sweet. That's only now because the savageness has been stripped from her by yours truly.
bit by bit.
If a guy came to speak to this young lady here at 25 and tried to speak to her or whatever, and this topic of this came up and he said that, I guarantee you she would ignore him, and the next day if he came up to her to speak to her, she would completely blank him. That's the way she
No,
is.
you can't compare 18-year-old me to now me being at 31. I was childish at that
I'm not
age.
finished, madam. I'm not finished. So when she's saying all this, oh, it's sweet. Listen, no girl is on that thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects, welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. This is episode number 37?
37.
57.
Flipping hell,
67.
67?
What number is it?
It is 64. It is 64.
No,
64.
Where are you getting these numbers from?
I'm getting geriatric in my old age. I'm catching up to you, Mr. Wolf. I am Stavros Bus, and in the room with me tonight, to my left, I have Big Wahala.
What's good, people? Big Wahala's in the building. What's good?
And to his left, we have Mr. Wolf.
Yes, people, what's going on? I got your Yoruba proverb here, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different, yeah? So bear with me. Bí èkúté bá fara balẹ̀, á jẹ lọ́wọ́ lọ́gbó. Now, I'm not someone who is fluent in Yoruba, but I gave it a go, and that's what I'm gonna try and do every week. And that translates to, if the rat can be reasonably calm and patient, it would have a taste of the cat's wealth.
Big up Ghanaians. So what does that mean?
Well, basically, with patience, virtually nothing is impossible.
Wonderful. And to his left, we have Simple Simon.
Yes, Simple Simon's in the building. Last week I didn't have my yardie rhythm, and today got one. New year, new style, new dance. I do it. Put you on the year and you rock, then you dip. Move to the front and make your body step. Step forward and come out back quick. Adjust the new style with the old place I do. Rap bogle dance when people need you. There you go.
All right. I just want to say that last week you said you wanted to do your Jamaican proverbs, yeah?
I forgot them.
And you said, I said to you that they're all bashment rhythms. That's
Yeah.
all the proverbs are?
Yeah.
And you said, no, they're not.
Yeah.
But what did you come with today?
I came with a bashment rhythm. That's not a proverb.
That's your proverbs, man.
Look at this. Look at this black.
To Simple Simon's left, we have that actor.
What's going on, people? There is no monologue today, but I will be telling you people off, especially Stavros and Wahala, for interrupting my monologue.
You
Stavros did an interruption.
Well,
Stavros
well,
did.
a few
He
people,
laughed.
a couple people did.
And you said about me having babies when I don't have babies.
We don't know that yet.
It's true.
It's true
That I don't have babies. Shut up.
it's true that we don't know.
No, it's true. I do not have any children.
There was that one time in Australia.
And the deep thing is, he hasn't been to Australia.
Well,
I will say, listen, no, in all seriousness, you guys know what a monologue is, right?
yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, it's an elongated speech used for theatre, film, or stage production.
That's what Jose Mourinho done today. But
Don't care about Jose Mourinho. I'm trying to talk here.
All right, go on.
He's trying to put some respect in his name.
No,
again.
seriously, because you guys interrupted me last week and it was very disrespectful. When someone performs a monologue, there are specific things they need to do.
You're on a podcast.
Hold on.
No.
Let him finish.
Let him finish. Go on.
Yeah. Whether I'm on a podcast or whether I'm on stage live, it's pronunciation, production, and process that you go through. So if I'm doing it, there's going to be dramatic pauses. There's going to be loudness and quietness. If I move away from the mic, I'm still loud enough because I can project my voice.
Hold on.
Yes, because when I listened back to the podcast, and I was still. You could still hear me and I could still hear myself.
It's bare hurt feelings here, you know.
No, wait,
It's not hurt feelings. I'm not hurt.
Let him finish.
I'm just stating a fact here. Yeah.
So you said projection, production.
Leave him.
No, come on.
What I would say.
Do you see how everybody?
No. Listen.
No, I haven't finished. So why?
Okay.
Let him finish.
Let me learn.
Talk your talk.
So
But
at
do
the
it
end,
quickly.
So why are you rushing me?
Because
Let me
we got
finish.
people
Then don't interrupt me and let me finish. This is what you guys always do, and that's your speciality. You like to interrupt.
He's got hurt feeling. Let him talk.
It's
Man.
not,
Get out.
it's not even a hurt-based situation.
Let him stress it.
I'm just stating a fact here. How you guys were disrespectful to me last week.
This is
Simple
what
as
happens
that.
when your wife is
And I
in
want to
another
thank
country.
Nutty for giving our shout out and saying you guys should have been disrespectful and let me finish my pod.
Can you come to London, please, wife? Please come.
Nothing to do with my wife not being here.
No. I would listen.
No.
Are you finished?
We'll chip in for the flight.
What I would say is, I kind of encourage the whole monologue thing. You tried to do one some weeks back, and they just kind of brushed it under the carpet and this the thing. I remember, but what I would say is that last week's one was one too long.
It was not too long.
Okay, according to most folks. And secondly, I couldn't hear you, bro. That's all I'm saying.
And the reason I'll say it wasn't too long is because I was not given a chance to finish.
And it was still so long.
No, it wasn't.
But anyway,
All right.
Anybody else?
Benny.
All right. Just don't do it again, please.
Okay. So that was his broken monologue. And also, to his left, we have two special guests with us in the room. Yes, round of applause. It has been demanded. Would you like to introduce yourselves? Talking into the mic, of course.
Hi, SincerelyTops.
And
Joseph, my husband.
husband, come with this thing, boys.
He said the husband.
No, he did that humble. I like that.
Second,
Joseph.
second
Better than me,
fiddle.
boy.
Playing
I'm
second
Joseph. I'm
You
your
playing,
husband.
you're playing
That
second
is-
fiddle.
That is the
fiddle.
best.
Stedman to the Oprah.
Oh,
Where?
wow.
No, don't say that because we don't see Stedman.
No, yes, we do.
When do you see
Yeah,
Stedman?
he has his own thing going on.
Doing what?
Like what?
Can't answer that right
What is
now,
Stedman
but
doing
He takes
right
that
now?
money. That's all Stedman does. He
no,
sits down and takes
I'm
that
pretty
money.
sure Stedman has what he is doing.
Stedman rubs,
Isn't he like an entrepreneur or
No.
something?
You don't even know. You don't
I'm asking.
Stedman rubs the feet.
Isn't he? Doesn't he?
Stedman has one job, is to make Oprah come in bed.
Oh my God,
Mr. Joseph.
I don't even think he does
Mr.
that.
Joseph.
If he did not do that,
Let the record state.
the man wouldn't
Hold
be
on.
around.
Let the record state that Simple Simon is in solidarity with Mr. Joseph right now. Okay.
On what basis?
Because you lot are out here doing what you're saying is wild.
Why is it wild?
Because you called him Stedman and then
I
now.
didn't call him.
No,
Stedman.
he called
He
himself
said
Stedman.
that he's the
Hey,
Stedman.
you said he's. No, I'm not with you. I'm not with you.
Let me tell you something, yeah? The Rock got his whole inspiration from Stedman. And you know why?
Who?
The-
Dwayne Johnson.
Yes, because he said to shut your mouth and know your role. And that is what Oprah
Not
tells Stedman on a
to
daily
that
basis.
extent. I was just doing it for jokes, just because
Yeah, you gotta be careful right
everyone knows her,
But they don't know
But
you.
I'm happy with that. 'cause I
Okay,
can
so
see-
can the two of you? You've now introduced yourself with your names. Can you say who you are, what you do in other terms, kind of things? Flesh it out.
Do you want to go first?
I don't really do anything exciting. I'm a business analyst, solution architect by career.
Niger boy, I
Mhm.
told you so.
So yeah, I mean nothing. I mean other than that's pretty much my life. I'm
You
a
got
father.
one of the best jobs in the world, bruv. You're a father.
Yeah, see, I like that. Yeah, and I am a dad, and I'm raising, hopefully, one of the
Bright stars of the future.
bright stars of the future. Yeah,
Yeah.
a nice black
Queen.
queen.
That's it.
We thank God.
I like that. That's aspirational.
Ladies,
For me, okay, I do a few things.
Not
I
inspirational.
would say in my professional life, I'm a business development manager. And then outside of that, I do YouTube, I do hosting, and I'm also part of an online talk show as well on YouTube.
What's the name of the talk show?
Candid Conversations.
Ah.
I would also like to add, I am her manager as well.
Oh,
So-
okay.
God.
Yeah, I'm taking your
So just follow that
25%.
Follow up. Actually, it's 60-40.
So it's like
It's the cash money.
Yeah, but
kind of
what's
thing
yours
we
is
got going
mine,
on.
so
I don't know about that one. We had a debate about that the other day still.
it's like Beyonce knows his dad.
Listen, don't forget to plug, yeah? You can shamelessly plug. It's all right. It's cool.
We'll do all of that stuff at the end.
But
So-
you can plug.
Has everyone done their little talking?
No, you know what? I want to address something about the monologue.
Go ahead,
Oh, Jesus.
please. Let's get that out of the way before
I want to get out of the way, yeah? So, okay, you've expressed your...
Hold on 1 second. Say it. Just
Bro,
say it.
it's just so bad, man.
I don't think it's gonna improve.
I think we should try and swap the cables. But anyway, that's it, not there. Fine. I'm just saying, why would everyone else sound clear with their new cables and us with our old cables?
No one's using the new. Apart from Simple, no one's
Simple
using the
Simon,
new cable.
continue.
He don't sound bad to me.
Who? Both of us.
You lot don't
I
sound...
all sound muffled. I sound... Well, maybe it's just...
I did not say don't put it so close to your mouth.
Don't
It's
sound
actually
like
touching your
no
lips.
Dalek to me.
Fair enough.
Put the mic to him out.
Go,
Put the
go,
mic to him out.
Karen.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Oh, hold on. Sorry. I'm apologizing for last week. The sound quality was even worse than this week because it is not 100% crispy. But what can you do? Yep, it's much better than it was last week. It's not as up to its usual quality, but we're splitting a lot of mics here, and it doesn't matter. It's technical stuff, but hopefully you can hear us relatively clearly, and that is that. So sorry, Simple Simon, you want to finish your thing? It's gonna be a long episode today.
Yeah, last week it was my fault, innit? Yeah, I forgot my cable, innit? I forgot my mic, okay?
I didn't say that about last, like whose fault it was.
Yeah, whatever, innit?
I just apologize. We were missing some equipment last week, so we had to improvise.
Oh, listen to this guy. All professional stuff now.
Yes.
Anyway,
Oh, yeah,
so I'm
talk.
saying, so this monologue now, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into whether or not it was too long or any of that other stuff, yeah? But you said, what is it? Production?
Timing, pauses,
Timing, pronunciation.
all these things.
my biggest problem with it, yeah, last week's one was that I didn't feel it. Like he didn't deliver with a passion.
Last week,
I understand that.
or a couple weeks back.
and that was it. That's
And I
my-
wasn't allowed to deliver with a passion.
No,
because
no,
I was-
no.
Because I was being interrupted.
No.
No.
There was a long period of time where you were going, and I was like, all right, so when is the passion gonna come in here now? And I'm thinking, like, you just sound like you were just reading it off the board, and
Because that's what he did.
and it upset me because I know that you're better than that.
You know the film Passion of the Christ? He dies at the end. You got to the end. Like, there was no Passion of the Christ.
You were dragging the clock for a long time.
I just died.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Listen.
So that is constructive criticism.
I will take your critique.
I'm your biggest fan, as you know, in a strange
Say
way.
what?
No, I'm always there for you. Look, I went to go and buy tickets to go watch your film just to see you for 10 minutes or 10 seconds.
Can we take note? He's taking the pop filter off. That's actually meant to make it sound better.
Listen, he's your brother.
It's like unofficial sabotage.
He's your brother. I don't understand it.
I just ripped it. But anyway, so yeah, so you didn't deliver it with passion. It was too long. You was basically going. That's what you did, and that's why Mr. Wolf is telling you he can't hear you. And sometimes when somebody's telling you just allow it, you just have to allow it, bro. You just have to allow it.
Continue with your monologues, bruv.
Okay.
Just do better ones.
All right, let's move on.
You see,
Do better. Be better.
only your brothers can tell you that. Only your brothers, bro.
All right, yeah.
Anybody outside says something to you, we will get them.
So can we just say, is it all right? Okay, we have two people here. Now, you've heard the story. He does a monologue at the start of the episode. You might have heard it before. Last week, we weren't so impressed and we stopped him. We interrupted him many times, but he did get through a piece before we started interrupting him, but then we started trying to stop. He kept going on and on and on. You know when you get beat at home and they don't stop? It's like they're angry. They're angry with their partner and they're not really angry with you and they keep beating you. It's like, come on now, mommy, please. Anyways, so we're telling him that it wasn't so good. Would you tell your peoples that, or would you like? Well, we're doing it on the podcast as well.
Live and direct.
Would you tell your peoples, or would you like just leave it and it's like they'll learn for themselves, or what?
I would at least let them finish.
Some people don't deserve to finish.
I would at least let them finish, and then you can give like a proper like critique because you've seen the full thing. When if you don't let the person finish, then yeah, I would have allowed you to finish, and then I'd been like, okay, this is what was wrong. This is how you could have improved. But if you don't let the person finish, then it's not fit. You've not seen the thing in its entirety. So how can you really give a good assessment if you've not heard all of it?
Got one question.
Yeah.
If you go to the cinema and you're watching a film, you get 15 minutes in and it's rubbish, do you stay to the end?
I would generally try and see if it'll pick up.
How long before you leave?
I don't think I would leave, to be honest. If I was at home and I was watching a film and I thought, this is rubbish, within 10 minutes I probably will turn it off.
And do you know that people's might turn off our podcast?
Okay, all right. Okay. I was trying to.
I got you, and I completely understand. But do you see how my boys they
Yeah.
love and hate me at the same time?
Yeah, but if you're but on the flip side, your friend should be able to tell you the truth.
Oh no, I'm not disputing that fact. But I'm also giving my interpretation of what happened and how I felt about it.
Artists are sensitive people. We know this.
He's a Bible reader anyway. That's what I'm calling him from now on anyway. Because that's how he read the monologue that happened the week before last.
No Bible bashing, please.
He's not Bible bashing. Actually, no, he didn't read it like the Bible.
I said the week before last. Because that's the one he did read like the Bible.
And it was good.
No.
It wasn't good, bro. I didn't like it.
You a Christian?
I try to be. I'm trying.
Say it with a bit of confidence.
No,
I try to be.
He's being honest. He's being honest about it.
All right.
I mean, it is what it is. You always try to be a little bit. You try to improve every day, but I'm not where
You're not
I-
perfect.
You're on
yeah,
your
I'm
own
not
journey.
perfect. Yeah,
You're on
so-
your own journey.
I can just see we're going to pray when we get home tonight.
But are you telling your boys or your friends, your family, when they sound or do something that ain't great?
straight away. My mum's a little, and my boys as well. It's really weird. If you say or do something that doesn't really sound right, they'll tell you straight away. So you don't go out there and then repeat it, and then you look stupid or you look crazy. And then
Can you give me an
affects all of
example?
us.
Because me as a non-Christian, I'm interested in how somebody would correct me if
I don't
said
think
or
you're talking
done
about
something
Christianity.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm not
talking
talking
about
about
What are we talking about?
in
We're
general.
talking
Just
about-
the question you
we're
asked him in the
talking
first place, bro.
Ask him if he's Christian.
No, you asked the original
no,
question.
I thought we
Going back
moved
to
on
the
from
thing.
there.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
No,
Back to the original question.
I guess in this particular case, if you tell him, we just tell him once, just tell him, and if he wants to continue, might as well just let him continue.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. The only thing is that we are trying to get more listeners. That's the only thing. Well, there are people said that they skipped the thing. I didn't even because I went through social media and I took a couple of screenshots of the negative comments and I put them in the group. My brother Wahala is like, you can't do that. I'm like, why? We're not children, man. Let him see what people are saying. But there's others that I didn't actually put in, and there's people saying they just skipped that bit.
Gaza, did you put
Oh.
in the positive ones?
There was no.
I didn't see a positive.
The only the naughty one was the positive one.
Oh my.
What did she say?
No, there were
She-
two. I saw two positive
She just
ones.
said, "Let him finish." What was the other positive one?
That's the positive one.
That's what you say to somebody that's getting beaten. And stop beating them. I know they
No,
did something
let
wrong.
him finish.
But
Let
that's
him
one
finish.
that's one that he spoke about.
Wait a minute, let him finish.
Let him finish is an encouragement.
Okay, well, she was
It's not-
encouraging him then.
it's not-
The other-
Positive encouragement then.
The other tweet was it would have been nice to hear the monologue.
Who said that?
I can't
In
remember
its
the person's
entirety,
name.
right?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
in
find
its
that tweet
entirety.
because I don't believe it because
It could be. The person could have been laughing and it's like, yeah, I wanted to laugh more. Let me listen more. Anyways, okay, so let's move on to
Cain killed Abel, you know.
It's
bro.
my season, isn't it? It's my season. to
Cain
get it.
killed Abel.
you brought
bro,
it to
trust me.
you brought it here. If you didn't bring it here, you would have had this. You know that, innit?
Anyway,
Remember what I told you? Don't trust your friends, bro.
no
No new friends. No, yeah.
I'm not his friend anyway. Anyways,
Den of Thieves, all of you.
so I thought March was
Good film, bruv.
the month
It's
of
alright.
Mother's Day.
Sorry?
I thought month was the month of Mother's
You
Day.
thought
Sorry,
month
did you
was
think
the month of
the
Mother's
Mother's
March.
Day?
You said month, bro.
Yeah, you did.
That's
say
why
month.
everyone's
Yeah,
looking at
you
you very
said-
confused.
Don't
Yeah.
let Simple rewind the thing, you know. If he's
Okay,
editing, bruv.
I'm editing.
You don't ever do a monologue. Talk about me.
Okay, yeah. Are you finished?
Go on then.
I'm
Carry
not gonna. I'll cry about it next week. Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah,
on.
cry about it next week.
All right, okay. So I thought March was the month of Mother's Day and International Women's Day. Is that International Ladies Day?
International
One day.
Women's
Yeah,
Day.
International Women's Day.
International Women's Day, and also my wife's birthday. Yes.
So what's
Yes.
the long thing that you get into?
Can I finish? But clearly that is not the case. Clearly, it's Cultural Appropriation Month because we have a couple of things that have come to the fore in terms of cultural appropriation. One of them is this Bruno Mars thing. So it's been going on for a while. I know this is what we have to talk about, bro.
Not even that. I'm just that whole situation was.
Jump in on it now. Just talk on it. Talk on it now.
You know what?
In fact, let me flesh it out just before you
go
get
ahead,
into it. Just in case nobody knows. There's a show. Was it The Grapevine?
Yeah, the great.
Love that show.
It's been going on for a while, and they've gone viral this episode. They have relatively decent numbers, but this one's gone out the charts because they were
It's a
talking.
YouTube show.
It's a YouTube debate show.
It's I think it's a lot. It's American,
Yeah.
but I think there's a lot of African,
Yeah.
actual like ones that will tell
First
you they're from
generation
Africa.
Africans. Yeah.
Americans, not the one that will just tell you
Whoa.
Cosby Show.
Well, he said
Whoa, whoa,
actual
whoa, whoa,
Africans,
whoa, whoa.
you know.
Yeah, because some of them won't tell you that they are. They'll tell you there's something
Whoa,
else.
whoa, whoa.
Okay.
But they're like Nigerian. They like and then
First
you've got
generation or
yeah,
second
exactly,
generation.
exactly.
So
Right.
check that out. I've never
Carry.
actually watched it before, but check it out.
I wasn't a fan when I watched the one I watched.
Which one did you watch?
I can't remember what somebody was chatting. And not, I just wanted to slap one of the people that was talking.
Well,
about
so-
it.
so-
I bet I can guess who.
I can't remember which one.
All right. So, anyways, in this one of the recent episodes now, the whole topic I believe is Bruno Mars cultural appropriation, and one of the ladies got speaking, and she was very eloquent, very fast, very quick-witted. Bang, 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 bang. She was chatting rubbish, but bang, 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 bang. She was doing it very well. She was chatting it with eloquence and style, and basically she spit out a lot of rhetoric saying that indeed he is cultural appropriation. It's because of his non-blackness. Although he has some melanin in him, he's not black, and that is why he's so big now. That is why he's so accepted in mainstream society. And it went viral, and you had people on one side saying they agree with her, and you had people on the other side, including a lot of singers and celebrities and rappers and whatnot, saying, I disagree. But Joseph has his own view.
Actually, before you start, no, I just want to. What is Bruno Mars's cultural heritage? Thank you, Joseph.
Yeah. He's from Hawaii.
No, it's not.
No, hold on. Go on,
Right.
Joseph.
So apparently he was born Peter Jean Hernandez, and he was also born. Sorry, he was born in Honolulu, Hawaii.
But he's not Hawaiian though. I was born here.
Ignore them. Continue.
So it goes into a whole bunch of details as to where he's from. It's just really, 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 really. Basically, he's mixed with white Jewish and Hispanic, and
I don't claim Jewish. But
So-
Jewish is a religion. Not,
so yeah, that's what they put here.
So he's white and Hispanic.
So I don't know, when you say melanin, do you mean is that just as soon as there's any bit of color,
Yeah, that's
then we throw him under that people of color bracket,
Well, yes, I'll say that.
right?
But he has melanin in him because he's not
Cool. So there's this thing that I'm
outside.
having a discussion with my wife I've never heard of before, which is being racially ambiguous.
Yeah. I've
I
heard
was
of
just
that.
like, okay, all right. So basically, white folks can look at him and think, oh, he's one of us, and black folks look at him and think maybe he's one of us.
Indeed.
And I think, as far as the whole cultural appropriation aspect of things, he plays on that very, very, very well. He uses the the quote unquote black soul of the music that he sings and stuff like that. But then it goes out to mainstream media, and it caters more towards, in my personal opinion, white people, which is why he has a lot of success. And black people will enjoy his music too. And that's because of the soul sound behind it. What's the genre of music? He what's it called?
Funk.
Funk
R&B,
soul.
Yeah.
And so
New Jack Swing.
New Jack Swing. So it sounds black, but it's not really coming from a black person. But he's still able to reach out to a lot of white people as far as his audience.
So, do you feel he's a cultural appropriator?
I feel he is, but the way the young lady worded it,
Yeah.
everything's all in delivery. If you just throw stuff out there and you're aggressive and you just say this, you just say that, and then you just put absolutes on it, when people look at that, they're gonna be like, "No."
So you're saying she's an aggressive black woman? Okay, continue. This is
I was
interesting.
gonna say you're just
What was it?
digging a hole.
Was it a black woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
It
black.
was.
I like the
Wasn't
way
it
you did that.
Serene?
The way you did that, like this guy.
Do you know what's actually?
He was afraid. I didn't even catch that.
You tried it.
Was she black? Was she? Oh, I didn't realize.
She's actually one of my favorite characters because I just like the fact she's so pro-black and everything. But in that particular aspect, in that particular clip, she's got to hold the L. She was going a little bit. The whole aspect of if he died, mentioning if he died, she'll she wouldn't care or anything like that. You know, just mentioning stuff like that. I just think it's a bit over the top.
A bit OTT.
You
Okay.
know?
Tops.
Okay, well, I want to just clarify exactly where he's from, because like there was people that were like, oh, I thought he was half black, or I thought he was this, or whatever, and that kind of does play into the whole racial ambiguity thing, but I'll get into that. But basically, he is half Puerto Rican and half Jewish, so Ukrainian and Hungary. His mother is Filipino, and she also has Spanish ancestry.
So hold on.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
So he's everything
How can
but
you be
black.
half
So what's
and
the dad?
half? But be
So
have
it-
five.
no, so yeah, he's half.
mix.
So basically,
We'll say a mix.
his dad
He's
is
got a mix
his
of
dad
this.
is dad is half Puerto Rican and half Jewish. So he's from
No,
Ukraine.
no, that means that he's Puerto Rican.
Well, and his mum is from the Philippines.
a Jewish.
He's
is
not. He's not Jewish.
So he's half Hispanic,
Yeah, his mum has to be
half
Jewish.
Filipino.
Well, it says that his dad is half Puerto Rican and half
And what are the other countries?
Ukraine and
Ukraine.
Hungary, and his mum is from the
Eastern
Philippines.
So his dad is mixed race, and his mum is Filipino.
At the risk of exposing my ignorance, when people say Jewish, is that actually supposed to be a race?
No,
Well,
that's
what
the point.
it just says
It's a
here
religion.
Jewish descent. So
Yes.
Jewish descent
But they're
from
not, though.
Ukraine and
Yeah.
Hungary.
Yeah, because I'm half.
not, though.
I'm half Muslim.
Don't get me
Yeah,
started.
I'm half
Right.
black, half Muslim.
Okay.
Don't get me started on the
Okay.
Jewish thing.
It's
bro.
not a race, is it?
It's a
Exactly.
race.
Exactly.
It's a people then.
It's a race, it's a religion, and the people all at once.
Mm.
Oh,
So where's the race from?
The race is from they're
Eastern
nomadic
Europe
people
and
in
Russia.
but then they're mostly in Eastern Europe and Russia, but they are nomadic people.
Interesting.
Okay. So you've explained where he's from.
Yeah.
Now what do you feel?
I don't think Bruno Mars is a cultural
Of course you
appropriator. I don't think he is.
24 karat.
And because
I don't think he is, because I think to be honest, I'm not like the biggest Bruno Mars fan. So whenever I have this discussion, I'm quite limited on my range because I'm not a massive Bruno Mars fan. But from what I have seen of him, he always pays homage to the people that have inspired him to be the artist that he is. And what I liked about the Grapevine episode is that the conversation was very balanced, because the clip you saw on Twitter was her basically going off. And I think that's obviously what went viral. But a lot of people didn't, when I went to actually go and watch the episode, and you realize that I think if you're talking about, I think there's two different issues to explore. Is he a cultural appropriator? Or two, does he benefit from a system that prefers to have somebody that looks like
Both.
him?
I was
both.
just about to say that. But anyway, continue.
I don't
Sorry.
think it's both.
Does he benefit from a system that prefers to have somebody that looks like him at the forefront of, black culture, black mainstream, that kind of thing? And I would say yes to the second part, because she made a comment saying that how people want black music, want black things, but they don't want it delivered by black bodies.
Yeah.
But I can't see how anybody would think that man is white. In any way, shape, or form.
It's about the proximity to whiteness. That's what they're talking about.
Well,
And-
so he's light skinned. So
Well,
what's,
because-
are we saying Drake's the same wing? God's plan.
I think with
God's
Drake,
plan.
it's the way he even presents himself. He presents himself as
A black man.
Yeah, but you see his mum every 5 minutes. He's clearly a white woman.
I mean, the thing with Bruno Mars, and everybody has an issue with, he has mass appeal. Everybody likes him. Everybody likes a Bruno Mars song.
But
Everybody likes Drake.
but
Yeah, they all have mass appeal.
that in part is about the racial ambiguity that you're
exactly.
talking about.
That's
It's the
what
same.
it feeds into.
I'm gonna say something real controversial now, but I think it's the same thing for Beyonce.
Yeah,
And-
that's what the dad said it herself.
of course.
So, like,
But I spoke about that on my channel and also someone else's channel, just about, and I think there's been a discussion on social media about how does colorism play a part in somebody's success, and people don't like to have the conversation, especially when it comes to Beyonce, because people like to think that we're trying to, I don't know, invalidate her talent by saying that, the reason why she's successful is because she's light skinned.
Yeah, it's not
and
that.
it's not about that. It's about the access to opportunity.
But then what about the?
sorry, before that, it wasn't an issue for me. But the time that I realized how ambiguous she looked was, I think she did a video with Shakira,
And they pretty much looked.
they looked the
There
same.
was some scenes where you couldn't even tell
Tell
who
them
was who.
apart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But that's
I
down
think
to good
that's
editing.
I think that's just because she's part Creole.
Who?
Beyonce.
Yeah, but I'm saying that
So-
is the ambiguous look, though, isn't it? Like,
So what about
Again-
Rihanna?
again, Rihanna now. I don't know.
Because Rihanna's as big as all of them, and she's
I
clearly a
think
black.
Rihanna was
That one,
only
that one will take you to the Trinidad Carnival, wherever carnival she goes to, and show you that she's a full black boy.
Yeah, and I think Rihanna is probably a special case.
I don't think so. I think there's a
I
lot
don't
of
think.
big.
I
big
don't
black
think
stars.
so. I think it comes down to what people say is what is the acceptable black.
Okay. Just from someone who's spent almost a decade living in America, I can effectively just tell you what the ideal for the industry, whether it's marketing for an athlete or marketing for singers, whoever, and just general life, how people or some people, just based on my experience, 'cause I don't want people turning around saying, "Oh, he doesn't speak for everyone." When you see, singers like Rihanna and Beyonce and whoever, really, most of the time you see like a nice little trend of them having a particular skin tone and then having particular eye color, like a particular eye color, whether it's hazel, whether it's green, and the more European you look, the more acceptable black it is for them. So they'll look at you and think, okay, you're marketable. So if you're a black woman, that's fine, you're a black woman, but the way we're gonna market you is we'll make you as European as possible so it appeals to everyone else. So whether it's the hair, whether it's the eyes, or whether that's what they look for. So Tyra Banks, I know she probably spoke about the fact that she's a black woman, but
she has certain features about
she's got certain features, the nose and the green eyes and
the forehead can't be helped though.
And Rihanna as well. When you look at Rihanna, I look at her and I think she's a black girl.
Exactly.
But then part of Rihanna's appeal, she's also got a forehead as well. Part of Rihanna's appeal is her eyes as well. When you look at her, you know, she got green eyes as well.
I think
and
so.
She's fair.
At the beginning, I remember definitely at the beginning they tried to lighten her up when she was doing Ponder Replay and all those things.
It's like and then when you now speak to black guys who aren't really as clued up or woke, quote unquote woke, you ask them what they're, I was just listening to a rap today as well, and they were talking about the kind of girl they want. They want a light skinned, curly haired girl, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's just everywhere. Light skin, bright
in the UK
eyes,
as well.
Curly hair.
I was gonna say it's not even just the US. It's like it's everywhere.
Yeah. So I'm just talking about these particular artists because they're from America, and this is what they push out. So when you're dealing with athletes as well, now LeBron James is, for me, because he's ridiculously talented, he's marketed well. But then what they try to do is the athletes that they want to make the face of the franchise, most of the time, if they're black, they're light skinned, like Steph Curry as well. I don't even know if he is black, but he's light skinned and he's also got green eyes as well. And he's marketed, he's pushed.
Does that bother you?
No, because unless he turns around and he says he doesn't identify as being black, then for me it's just...
No, I mean the system of them pushing the light skinned people.
Does it bother me?
Yeah.
I think it bothers me because in the long term, I don't want that to be, when you're looking at my daughter or you're looking at my kids, look at them for what they do instead of the marketing aspects, as in, okay, I'm not going to deal with you because you're too dark or you don't have a certain kind of eye. So that's what bothers me is the implications of it later on down the line. Right now, as the way I am, I it's what's expected. I'm used to it, so I'm kind of just numb to it. But the only issue I have is further down the line when my kids, my daughter is really fair. She's really fair. Yeah, and her hair, I don't even know how to explain it. So is she going to be looked at wherever she does, whether it's tennis, whether it's academics or whatever?
I see.
Is she gonna gain favor because of her talent, or is she gonna gain favor because of the way she looks, because she's fairer skinned and that's more marketable to push out?
You know what's interesting? The angle of your argument has just made me realize, or maybe made me appreciate Jay-Z a little bit more, because he doesn't fit any of the stereotypes, does he?
Jay-Z's just the best rapper there is, but
talent will always overcome everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Wolf, what's your views on all this Bruno Mars thing?
Sorry, I got phlegm now. Boy, Bruno Mars is a good singer and he's a good entertainer. I don't know, man. It's a tough one. Is he an appropriate or not? I think he's stuck right in the middle. I think they play on it a little bit, and I think that his talent is so good that it kind of pushes the boundaries of both, to be honest.
Can I just ask one question, or just make one statement? With Bruno Mars, is it his fault that it's all
Bruno,
of this
Bruno
is,
ain't done nothing wrong, man.
Yeah, done nothing wrong.
Everyone crying is crying.
So
including you.
if it's
it's
so-
a nonsense.
Yeah,
My
I
thing
think
is
my
if
question is
he's-
like, what exactly is he appropriating? Like,
He's not.
I've asked people, what exactly is he appropriating?
Black music.
Well,
We own it. Didn't you know that?
It's black music.
We
But
own
Like,
it.
I just think that argument is ridiculous because is the issue that if he wasn't successful at it, would we even care?
Well, the thing
No,
is,
they wouldn't.
But
he is,
Listen,
so-
listen.
But he is okay, fine. So is that the problem? Is it because he's a really good performer? He's successful. Like, which one is it? I feel like it's more the fact that he is because he's being recognized for it.
Listen, Tops. If there's such a thing as a female privilege, and me and you are in the same field, and you're getting ahead because of that female privilege, then I'm gonna hate on you. Why is it that you get it and I don't get it? I mean, nah, man. Just because you're a woman. So if I see it as there's appropriation and all my favorite artists, because I'm woke in quotations, are dark skinned and they're just as good or better than Bruno Mars, but they have no recognition, and Bruno Mars is up there winning 100 awards every year, then no matter how talented he is, I'm upset that he's there and the people that I think should be at least alongside him are not there as well. So yes, you're dragging
Don't get
down.
me wrong,
If
I
he
do
wasn't
get-
popular, it wouldn't be an issue.
Don't get me wrong, I do get it because I have tweeted about it, and I have tweeted about the fact that I feel his racial ambiguity does play a part in his success, and I feel like mainstream likes to have, whether you're talking about Bruno Mars or lighter skin artists, I feel like the closer you are to whiteness generally is more of a plus for you. That's what and the thing is, we talk about it when it comes to colorism. That's why lighter skin artists are generally the ones that are pushed forward.
Can I just touch on something? Do you know somebody that reminds me of this thing where I actually think it might be a bit true? Rita Ora.
She's a perfect example.
Rita Ora, because
of-
what does she do?
She's a perfect example of what they've done. They have created such a racial ambiguity around her. Because I don't know if you saw a clip that was going around on Twitter when I think it was the Mobos or something, and they made a reference
She's
to.
just talking to her husband, by the way, actually. Right now.
Go on.
They made a reference to the fact that she's apparently a black woman, but they made it as a joke, and it's a running joke in the industry that a lot of people think that she's black.
Where's she from?
She's isn't she
Armenian.
Albanian?
This man knows the woman. Go on. Say
She's from the Yugoslav.
She's Yugoslavian.
And she's very aware that people think that she's black. She loves it.
So by right, she should be doing Eurovision. That's what she should. That's the level that she's at.
But
really.
what about her exudes or screams out black? I don't get
People
it.
see her and they think that she potentially could be mixed race.
We haven't.
I've never seen. I've never seen it.
You can see it.
I don't see
You
it.
can see it.
I don't see
Same
it.
as them Kardashian people. They're from the same.
No, the
era.
Kardashians don't.
They're from
They
Armenia.
could, yeah, but they can pass. I mean,
Nah, they can't
They can
pass.
pass as what?
They can't pass.
as a mixed
Only
race.
the one that.
Would that make
Only
up
the
a-
one that got OJ's. That's the only one that can maybe.
I don't
pass.
think any of them. They look like white women
okay.
that have constructed themselves
Yeah.
to
Okay.
look like black,
I don't think they
as in their bodies.
But
They've-
what about them?
they've nipped and
What
tucked.
about them?
None of them look black, bro.
I got plenty of friends who are in interracial relationships, and their children look almost white, and theirs darker stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody's as dark
No,
as
no.
that.
Paula Patton and Robin Thicke, their son Fuego, you
looks
look at him,
white.
white.
Man,
like-
call him Fuego, but is she?
Fuego.
No,
Yeah, but
she's
to be fair,
Hispanic,
she's
innit?
Hispanic.
But
So-
she's mixed
so-
race herself, isn't she?
Is she?
She's half black. Isn't she half black, half white? Paula Patton.
Ain't she
I
Hispanic?
don't know.
She's
I-
half black, half white, and then she had a son with a white man. So the likelihood is that the child will look more white.
In fact, we need to discuss about this Hispanic thing as well, because for one, most Hispanic people have some form of African origin. People do know this, yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to stop this. Well, they're not black because
Really?
just because they don't want to claim. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just because they don't want to claim it themselves, don't mean they don't dash it on them because that's what
We're
they are.
we're talking South Americans, or we're talking Aztecs, as in like via Mexicans and stuff like that.
You can
Or-
go. You
South
can go.
America,
I'll say
Brazil.
more South American, but the Mexicans themselves, even probably if you went back, there'll be somewhere where they got land
Brazil, yes, and I know there's a strong
Brazil,
West
Cuba,
African
Yoruba
presence, yeah,
community there.
community
Yeah.
there.
Cuba.
Cuba's another one.
Colombia as well.
There are,
Even
there are
Puerto
black
Rico.
There are black Mexicans as well.
So
Yeah, black Colombians, black Cubans, black
Paula Patton
Mexicans.
is just half black, half white.
So
Told you.
with Hispanics, like, do you accept them taking on this whole plight of the black plight, as in, or the plight of people of color? Because you know, when you get Hispanics, and you know, we watch quite a few TV, and there's Hispanics of, you know, different shades and different colors, and there's a particular one that says all the black-related mannerisms. I don't want to say it on here.
Who is it?
I don't know. Do you know her name? Do you remember her name? I don't remember.
Is
her
she
name.
actually black? Are you
She
talking
says.
Is
She
my
says
love
that.
in hip hop?
I think so.
Are you talking about
Negra.
Amara La
She-
Negra?
No. I like her, but there's another one of the same.
So do we.
Are we talking about
Josephine?
And she says the N-word quite a bit.
what's
And she says it's because she's Hispanic and she's a person of color as well. So that's why
I like Fat
she
Joe.
can say stuff like she can say the N-word.
What's the one that did Bold That Yellow?
Cardi B.
What are you talking about?
She's not black
No,
as well.
no,
I
no.
don't think she's black.
There's-
She is actually half black.
There's
She's
a,
all- you
Her
sure?
dad's from somewhere in the Caribbean.
there's another
Dominican
one.
Republic.
There's another person I think in this Love and Hip Hop Miami that's also Afro Hispanic.
And Afro Latina, Amada La
No,
Negra.
there's the second one.
Oh really?
I believe so.
Juju.
Juju.
I don't
oh,
watch. I don't
oh,
watch the two.
Juju, that's Cameron's ex, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poor girl.
She's wasn't she black Cuban?
Yeah.
I don't know. But if this is, anyways, for me, if you're black, then you're black, and it don't matter where you come from. And if you're half black, then, you know, I saw something one time and she said black people are the only ones that will accept you, you know, regardless of however much black you have in you. And she said, if you're half white, we'll accept you. If you're half,
That's 'cause we're
this,
too
we'll
accepting.
accept you. She said,
What,
if you're half
accepting?
It goes
Asian,
back though, doesn't
we'll
it?
accept you.
It goes back to the
So
point.
you
It goes
should-
back to slavery, doesn't it? Because of the fact that if you did have a drop of black in you, you were seen as black.
But
Even if you were
that's-
the
that's
slave
a-
master's
that's an American-
raped child, even though you're the slave master's child, because it's black in you, you're still black.
you were treated better.
Yeah,
quote unquote better than it. So
you still get
instead of
treated
being
better,
out in the
but
field,
you're still
you was
black,
out.
But like
you was
Top
in
said,
the-
that's an American thing.
Yeah.
What
The whole
about
one drop
everywhere-
rule
everywhere
applies.
else?
It's an American thing.
It happens there too. Do you think
What the one drop rule?
No, I'm talking about. Do you think the white people here see a mixed race person and just not say that they're black same way?
Of course not. I mean, we've seen it with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Like, she is as close to a white woman as you can get, but yet
And
she's not
fully
going.
mixed race.
And but this country is having a
Well,
hard-ish
I saw her
time
on the-
accepting
on the-
her.
Which is what I'm saying. Because I was saying the same
Those
thing.
are just
Yeah.
it's scrunching his face. But I saw her on the cover of a magazine today or yesterday.
She
You think
looked
she look
like
white?
she looked like
can
a
look
white
white,
woman.
mate.
with
She's-
No,
black
no.
hair.
I reckon that's all the editing and stuff.
No,
like
no,
that.
she can look white,
If-
man.
fair
That one can
enough.
pass.
No, I know
She
that
is passing.
They-
She
they
can
need-
pass.
they would've lightened that up.
They need to make her look as white as possible for obvious reasons.
But,
when
but
you
the
see the
fact
mum,
is,
you know she's black.
the fact is,
I mean, you can look
They-
at
they
her
can.
and you can know she's mixed to black, but you know how it is over
No,
here.
I've seen
Brexit
some.
means
I've seen.
Brexit, so these guys are trying to they trying to, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to whiten her up as much as possible.
I've seen some interview where people have genuinely thought that she's a white woman. She can pass for a white woman.
But there's people that said the same thing about Beyonce. They thought Beyonce was white. I think it's
Absolutely
madness.
no, we can't.
I mean,
I
I
thought it
don't
was
know.
madness when they said it. I thought she was white.
you don't believe that.
Do you know what, guys? Rita Ora, do you think she's
I
culture
never.
appropriating?
What? I don't care.
Bruno
Music
Mars?
is music.
He isn't. I don't think Bruno Mars is a cultural appropriator. I think we can have a separate conversation about how he benefits from a system that allows him to be at the forefront of, black culture.
He's at the
and-
forefront though.
More or less.
More or less, like the
He
genre
is
of
one
music.
of the
Nobody
biggest
was
artists
doing.
out there
Nobody
right
was
now.
doing that kind of music. And if they were not doing it on the level of Bruno Mars.
You just answered your own question though. Nobody was doing that kind of music again. And even when you're talking about the cultural appropriation and the fact that you said it previously, he does pay homage to the people in
Yeah,
the past.
there's a difference between cultural appropriation and appreciation,
Yeah,
and I feel like he appreciates the culture.
Exactly.
He's
There's
always
teeth
referencing,
and there's non-teeth, innit?
right? He's always referencing who his inspiration is. Like, so many artists are inspired by the greats that have gone by. Like, he's always doing that, and I feel like
Does that make a difference though?
Of course it makes a
It
difference.
does make
it
a
enough?
difference. Of course it does.
Should he be doing more?
Doing more for what? Like if he's going out there and telling people,
no. He should be making his money and banging
yeah.
chicks. That's what he should be
if
doing.
he's going, if he's going out there and he's saying, "Look, right, I want to be like Michael Jackson. He's my inspiration. Prince is my inspiration. What's his name? Teddy Riley's my inspiration. These are my inspirations. I'm even blatantly telling you, like he did the In Living Color video. He put the In Living Color thing. He said, "Look, these are my people. I wanted to show you that I like this. This is basically where I stole it from. Blah blah blah." All of that is showing, paying homage to the people that he's taking it from. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see anything
I
wrong
don't
with.
think there's anything wrong with it. But does it mean that he's not appropriating?
What do you? Depends what you mean by
like that.
appropriation.
Let me do the definition or the Wikipedia definition of cultural
I
appropriation.
ain't got to the Oxford Dictionary.
So, because it's a term, it's not a word.
Okay, go on.
Often famed as cultural misappropriation, is a concept in psychology dealing with the adoption of the elements of a minority culture by members of the dominant culture. It is distinguished from equal cultural exchange due to the presence of a colonial element and imbalance of power.
So effectively, we're asking: is he a member of the colonial side? Is he one of the colonizer or is he part of the minority squad?
It's not even that. It's if
man's are drawing lines.
if you're dominant and then you come
He's
and
mixed race,
and take from the well, see, this is the thing.
But
Now.
I don't.
Are we the
he
subservient?
My problem is this,
He's
yeah?
half
This is what I don't
European.
like.
He's half European and half Filipino.
My problem is this, yeah. And
And
you mentioned somebody earlier. If we're saying this to Bruno Mars, why are we not saying this to Fat Joe? Because
Yo.
Fat Joe is exactly the same as this guy. Fat Joe will tell you, I am black. Blatantly out of his mouth, I am black. None of you black people can tell me nothing. In fact, when we call you black, you call you N-word. Can tell me nothing.
The goalpost,
But nobody's running
is
for him.
So
continuously
what
moved.
is Fat Joe's?
Fat Joe's Cuban, half Cuban, half Puerto Rican.
Yeah, and those are both black places.
Yeah, but for me, as far as I'm concerned, if you look at him, he looks the same as Bruno Mars. He looks lighter than Bruno Mars.
He looks more black to me than Bruno Mars.
In the face, are you sure? Fat Joe's very, very light, you know?
No, I'm
He's
talking
quite-
about his
He looks like an albino.
nose, his lips, and his features.
So now we're getting spun on the shade of a person's
I was
skin.
going to say,
And-
I think we're being very simplistic.
Yeah, but the
when it
shade
comes
of
to
the
sort
person
race
comes.
and ethnicity.
Yeah,
like
but the
we're
shade
sort of-
did come in with Bruno Mars because the only reason you would know that he's a certain way is by looking at his shade, isn't it? If you wouldn't, if you're not looking at him and saying you look this shade or you look this color, you won't be having this conversation in the first place. If he was dark skinned but was half Filipino and half what's it called, nobody would even make. We wouldn't have this discussion.
Is he half Filipino?
His mum is Filipino.
Do you know? Again, I'm gonna bake a noodle with this one.
Black Filipinos.
Yes, Filipino history has got African in it as well.
We're gonna have to.
I was just gonna quickly
Yes,
ask:
so you can be the last one. Monologue, please.
Is Eminem and Justin Bieber cultural appropriators?
Here we go. Man took it
What
in
is
the whole
Justin
next
Bieber?
direction.
What is his?
I
What's
think
his?
that's a good point.
What's his
He
genre?
touches, I think pop and
Ain't it pop?
It's pop.
Yeah, it's
It's pop with twinges
R&B.
of other stuff. Yeah.
Do you know what my main issue was with because just bringing it back to the Grapevine episode, I thought it was a great episode and I thought it was a really valid discussion. I felt the fact that they centered it on Bruno Mars is what a lot of people had an issue with. I feel like
The ring is blinding me, you know.
I agree.
Just keep shaking it. But
I feel like there are better examples that could have been used.
Don't
I think
hide it.
centering it on Bruno Mars kind of rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think there's a valid conversation to be had.
because he's beloved.
Not even just but not that, because I just don't feel like he's a cultural
How about
appropriator.
one?
How
I
about
feel like-
Adele? How about Adele? Ooh, you get me? Because
No, but
she's
you don't-
been,
So, are, we,
no.
so are we saying that?
How about
if you-
Mariah
So
Carey?
are we saying that people that are not black are not allowed to do
Well,
black
that's what
music?
they say.
What I will
That's what
tell
we're
you this,
saying.
what I will tell you this is that Beyonce has been overlooked a number of times for what's the music award?
Grammys.
The top,
the album of the year.
the top Grammy award in place of somebody who is white, and
Sam
some
Smith.
people who are white singing our kind of music. So, you know,
What is our kind of music?
soul, funk,
Slave
R&B.
songs.
A lot.
I mean, to be fair, even Adele acknowledged it when she accepted the Grammy. She
And that's my
acknowledged.
thing. Does acknowledgement make a difference? So what if she's acknowledging it?
What does she do? Does she just say I'm not singing anymore?
No,
I shouldn't
see,
make
now,
money
We're
no more.
not blaming her. We're
No,
blaming.
but I'm asking what is the purpose of this argument if you don't want the person to stop doing it?
I'm not saying that I wanted to stop
No,
doing
I'm
it.
not talking about you one, Mr. Wolf. I'm talking about in general. People are complaining about this cultural
What
appropriation.
people
do
are
they
saying,
want from it?
they want people like your Beyonces or somebody who is of color, who is singing these songs or making these albums or these films to be appreciated and
Then
acknowledged.
go back to Africa.
To be appreciated and acknowledged.
Okay.
Yeah, but the problem that lies here is that sorry,
Go
I
back
know you
to
want to jump onto another, but the majority rules. So if white America and white UK love this music because it's the closest they can get to being black, then
without
they're gonna
really being.
without really being black, they're gonna buy it, they're gonna buy into it, and they're gonna love it, and they're gonna celebrate it.
I heard an interesting conversation where they mentioned some of the stuff that really grinds their gears with situations like that. Is
I like that term.
you want they want us to be the gatekeepers per se, as in the people that are. So let's just say if it's New Jack Swing or whatever, if that's coming from, if that's our voice, if that's our flavor, if that's us, we want a black person leading the forefront. How can we now have someone who's racially ambiguous, or someone who just isn't us, quote unquote, per
White
se,
person.
to be leading the forefront and then leading that genre, and it's not for them. So that's people's. That's a conversation I've heard where people have an issue with that. As in, that's fine, do what you need to do, but the way that he's being pushed to be this leader of whether it's
Funk,
R&B, funk, and
New
all this
Jack
other stuff,
Swing.
and he's not part of us. We want someone who's actually part of us to take that crown per se and then go for it.
I think the biggest problem we've got is that we haven't evolved any of our musical genres. So what we have here is we have this new jack swing funk or whatever you're calling it, and that was of that era. We haven't moved it. Us as black people haven't moved that genre forward. There's been no progression in it. Someone else has now picked up what was great for us back then, and they're now spilling it out. It was great then. If you replicate it good enough, it's still going to be great now. But we haven't moved the genre forward. So what we do as black people is we do something for a long time. It gets big. We enjoy it for ourselves. Other people come to hear about it, come to get involved in it. They get into it. We no longer do that stuff anymore. We've moved on to something else. They're now championing that old thing. They probably make more money off of that old thing than we did when we were doing it. Then we get upset about that.
I don't think that's it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I don't think that's it. I think the issue is that white people, racial ambiguous people, whatever, are being celebrated for things that we don't get celebrated for.
Yep.
And we will leave it at that. And we will leave it at that because we're nearly an hour in just talking about Bruno Mars. And clearly I was right in the first place when everybody crying is just keep crying.
It's going to be a long podcast. Keep going.
Yes. All right. All right. You know what then? The reason that Tops is on the show, Tops is the person that we were speaking about a couple of weeks ago, where we were talking about somebody that a lady we were trying to get to the show, and I requested her appearance, and it was late, and then the guys thought don't invite a woman so late.
Billy Hold.
A lady. Yes.
And her husband is applauding.
And clearly Tops agreed with me, and she said that you guys were wrong. So I think we do.
She never said that.
No,
you didn't say that. Is that a big friend, man?
Stop. State your case. Top. State your case.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to?
I just said that I didn't feel like it was disrespectful. That's my thing. I didn't feel like it was disrespectful.
Was it wrong then? Because that was one.
No, because we had already had a discussion. You had already told me what the sort of like terms were, like when you sort of recorded, and I said to you that I was always going to come with my husband anyway. So the timing wasn't necessarily that of an issue. Oh, yes. But ideally, so I would have wanted to do earlier.
We can just do things easy. Black and white is good. Yeah, I was right. They were wrong. It's all good.
You love to be right.
You actually weren't
Everybody
right.
loves to be right.
It's all right. Don't worry.
You actually were not right.
How was I not right?
What's the question?
Not only did she say,
what's the question? You was complaining about people going on. Now you're just because you're right now. You want to keep going. What's the question you was gonna ask her?
He won't meet God. Go on.
The reason that we got to talking in the first place was because I saw a tweet that you had on, and you mentioned something about children at weddings. Mm-hmm. And I know with my wedding, I was very like my wife kind of runs things, and I just have a decision when I feel strongly about something. And that's
if you saw Joseph's eyes.
I know Joseph looked. Joseph was like, "She what?
You know when the Nollywood we go ding ding. That's what happened.
When I say run things, it's like
he's gone
in terms of the.
Oh, is he?
No, he's Nigerian.
Wait.
Oh, that answers everything.
No, he's Nigerian, but he married Ghanaian, so he's finished.
My wife is Ghanaian.
Yes, I'm here for it today.
It's the way Joseph was shaking it.
And he's like, "What? And you got me sitting next to him? Like you can one of you guys got sit next to me."
My best friend actually married a Ghanaian lady. So.
And what did you think?
Well, he's already started losing his hairline. So.
See what I'm saying? The hairline got. Is his head also become square at the back?
Anyway, let me continue.
It clearly is the end of days, isn't it, Joseph?
Let me continue. As Nigerian men, it's our job to go forth and pluck from everywhere else because all our children would be Nigerian. But anyways,
Chale.
Like I said, my woman, I let her do her thing because she's I picked a sensible woman and I let her do her thing. Once in a while, I step in because I have a view that's maybe different from hers. And
once in a while?
Yeah. And I feel very strongly about it. So when it came to wedding, obviously the wedding is the woman's day. Yeah. So were you the same, Joseph?
Just turned up.
Exactly.
Just turned up.
But there are certain things that I said. So one of them is that I wanted my whole family there. Now, my family is much bigger than hers. And obviously it's going to increase the price. But I'm a family-orientated person. And I always said I want my family there. Secondly, or one of the second things was I said I wanted children. I didn't like the idea of no children at wedding. So there was no way that she was ever going to say no children.
What?
So when I saw your tweet, Tops, I think you mentioned that you were...
We're not happy to.
the idea of having no children at a wedding was no issue for you, and then I think I asked you separately, was that in your case, was that the same thing? And you said,
yeah, we didn't have. Oh, it was so funny because I tweeted that I was told that basically somebody was talking about preparing for their own wedding and that they don't want kids, that they're going to make special allowances for like family. So I was just like, yeah, because I remember at my own wedding, more planning stages, I was just like, I don't want kids. And then one auntie or whatever was just like, oh, like, don't do that because somebody did that and then she ended up not being able to have kids.
Hey.
Oh.
I knew which path was coming, bruv.
Nollywood film.
I knew it was coming.
I had to mute that tweet because it found its way to Nigerian Twitter, and I had to mute it because I had all sorts in my mention.
You don't know about Nigerian Twitter? Okay, you say anything derogatory or anything about Nigerian, just anything, just even if it's Nige or Nigeria or any place in Nigeria, wherever they are, they will find you.
Good.
They will absolutely find
Yeah,
you.
it was. So I had to mute it because I had people in my mention saying, "What do you mean? Like, how can you do it?" I'm just like, so I muted the tweet.
Yes, you were right. You're all right. If you're listening, you're all right. Yes.
So my thing, right, is that I feel that a wedding is not the place for very young children.
Yes, it is.
Well, the way I did my wedding,
It's a celebration now.
It's an adult, it's a grown-up affair. And I did not want kids there because I felt like they would
Very European.
Ruin it. Bad and bougie over
No,
there.
wait, hang on. Yeah, I'm thinking that.
Joseph, was that your take on it as well?
I
had, as far as that, I didn't even know what was going on. When I tell you, all I did was put my clothes on and just turn up.
So if she asked you, what do you think about children or no children? What would you have said?
I'll be drinking.
I just wouldn't have cared. Probably said, yeah, sure, go and do whatever. Only because I don't know, like for us when we grew up, whenever we went to parties, we went to weddings or whatever. You saw kids flying around everywhere. You heard the usual, don't mess up that suit. You're wearing that to church tomorrow. Like everyone was that's just kids everywhere. So I just thought, well, there'll be kids there. She turned around and she said, I don't want no kids.
I don't want kids in my
So
wedding.
I just said,
Fine.
Okay, so let me ask you the question. Now you got a child. Do you mind saying how old they are?
She's 2.
Let's say that you can't get a babysitter. No babysitter. Not happening because every one of your family is going to this wedding. But the person says, Tops, no children. Are you happy to stay home?
Well,
the game's the game.
The game's the game, isn't it? The thing is, it's like I had a friend when Ava was still, I think she was like maybe 6 months or whatever, and she said no kids, right? So I said to her, okay, cool. Like if you said no kids, fine.
Watch the emotional blackmail come.
No, I said to her that's fine. I said to her, but I said if no kids, no kids. But she said she's making special allowances for certain people, and she allowed us to bring our daughter.
Hey!
And I said if as long as you're okay with it, then we will bring her.
So you got
and
bring-ins,
she said,
basically.
yeah.
You got bring-ins. You got
but then
the red pass.
We went to another wedding where kids weren't allowed, and we didn't. And I generally don't bring my child to weddings anyway.
Is there a particular reason why they don't want kids?
Don't bring those white kids.
Because
they
don't want them to
bring
make
the black
noise.
kids. Don't bring
Ask
the
your
white
wife.
kids.
They don't want them to make noise.
Yeah,
What was the reason?
For at our wedding? I just feel
I
that
did not
it's
ask that. I
the
didn't even
type.
ask
I think it depends on the kind of wedding you are having, and our wedding is quite a grown-up affair. And I just didn't want to have kids running around making noise.
Could you explain what that means?
Yeah,
I don't
Is that
know.
generational appropriation?
Yeah, I guess.
But why don't you just
No. I really want to know what a grown-up wedding is.
It's
What is a childish wedding?
well for me, when I say it's grown up, I mean as in like only grown-ups are allowed.
Yeah, but
So it's a rave.
Maybe.
I'll be drinking.
I was
maybe-
already
no.
raised.
I don't want to let you off the hook.
People get so sensitive about it. It's just like
That's your family, innit?
The thing is, we didn't. It's not that we didn't have no kids at the wedding. We obviously had kids because some of my.
That makes it even worse.
But I excluded it. I said generally no kids, but for people like close family members, you are more than welcome to bring your kids.
Yeah, but I'm saying for me, that's my family. So if you told me, I don't care how close we are, and I've got a child, no kids, your kid can't come, I'm not coming.
I'm not coming in.
And I might not come to nothing you asked me to come for again.
Ooh.
Because you have insulted me.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't think it's.
insulted
I don't
me.
think it's
Of course
disrespectful.
it's
Me,
disrespectful.
it's in meeting in your house. You're
I don't
telling me
think
now I
it's
cannot
disrespectful.
You are a unit, yeah.
Yeah.
I see you. I've spoken to Tops. Tops has spoken about you, and I said, yeah, man, this sound like a good, strong family unit. I said, it seems like we have similarities, and I said, the three of you are a unit. You're a team. Now somebody's telling you only part of your team can come. It's like even as just as 5 guys on a podcast, and they're like, you know what? We get invited to other podcasts, and there was times where people said, I want him, and him. And it's like just leave out the other 2 or leave out the other 3 or whatever. And it's like, wow, it's understandable if you have a studio that can only do certain mics or whatever. But if it's just like I just only want certain members of the team, don't you see how that could be like?
I don't.
Especially when it's your own child.
I don't think,
I don't
think it's that deep.
I'll chime in here. So, all throughout the whole wedding process, what you feel, and you probably fell testament to this as well, is when you're dealing with the whole wedding, women have a particular way they want their wedding to go.
Vision.
And they've had that vision from when they were like 11, 12, God knows how many years beforehand.
I weren't dreaming about a wedding at 12. Just want to put that out there.
So when was you when did you start planning your wedding?
When you asked me to marry you.
Hey, you see this one. She's been planning her wedding from when she was like 12, 13, 14, saying, "Oh, I want this, I want that." Don't fall for the sauce there. Don't fall for the sauce.
That look she's giving.
I'm just waiting to see where this goes.
My ears are hot right now. So they have a particular vision of how they want it to be, and it's most of the time it's elegance, it's this, it's that, everything's running perfectly. You know, the core is this, is that, and then to have kids running around, and then, you know, most of the time troublesome kids or just kids just doing whatever noise,
dropping jollof on the floor,
doing this, doing that, breaking that, and then you don't get your deposit back. In my head, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, hey, listen, I want my deposit back, and if we've got kids running around breaking stuff out, you know, I'm not gonna be like, hey, Auntie, I'm gonna need that money back, such and such. So I understood, but I just thought maybe she had a particular vision where she wanted the wedding to go and how she wanted it to be, and she just wanted it to be like a grown and sexy affair sort of a thing.
It makes sense, you know. I mean, I've been to weddings where children haven't been there and it's been good. I've been to weddings where kids have been there and it's been fine, and some where
it would have been better if the children were there.
Hold on,
and some where they've allocated a particular room or area.
That's what I think.
That's what I wanted to do.
I think that's best.
And they had somebody supervising. They had two people supervising the children.
Extra cost.
Now, for me, it was family.
Oh, okay.
So for me,
no, but even having somewhere where there's a room allocated for children, because in my wedding I wanted to do that.
So it might have been an extra cost, which is fine. But for me, as a Nigerian man, reminiscing of those times when I was young, enjoying the parties, meeting people, meeting young kids, and then growing up and, you know, seeing them at another party, seeing them at another wedding.
You wouldn't want to deprive the children of that.
Personally, I remember Wahala, we spoke about the whole idea that this thing is missing in our community.
It is very much.
You understand? And
I do not think it's this deep.
No. You may not.
No, it's not this deep.
I like this. Guys, keep pamming her. I like this.
No.
Keep her. I love this.
At the end of the day, people can do what they want, innit? But
it's your own wedding,
from my point of view, I think that we as a people need to create more gatherings and parties and things like that.
You're Nigerian, right?
I mean,
we have enough parties.
But the parties that we have now are becoming bougie. And that's my problem. They were telling you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm talking, me and Mr. were talking about the house parties where you had a party in your house. You didn't have it in a hall, you had it in your house. The kids slept on the coats. The adults enjoyed themselves. People drank alcohol and drove home. I'm talking about them parties. I'm saying now we don't have that. We do have the hall parties. But yes, again, you'll be separating your kids to go somewhere else, or they'll be playing outside, or they'll be doing this, blah, blah, blah. But it's not the same. For me, I just don't like the fact that you're telling me to separate myself from my child. I would never. If you're gonna ask me who I'm gonna pick over you or my child, I'm picking my child. I'm
not asking you to pick me over your child.
But in the end, when you're telling me you can't bring your child, that's what you're asking me to do. So, and that's what I'm gonna say. Okay, fine. If you're asking me to do that, I know which one I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick my child. And if you don't want me to be there, that is your own.
The thing is, like, even the wedding, like his friend is getting married next week, and he's the best man, and they specified no kids, right?
But is your kid going?
She is, but ordinarily
you ever had the pepper on your own self?
No. The thing, what I'm saying
that.
Which is why I'm telling you guys to keep pamming.
No. Let me explain. Let me explain. The thing is, when they said that no kids, I was like, cool, calm, it's fine. My mum's there, like we've got people to look after her. But then they've now all had to go to Nigeria, so there's nobody actually to leave my child with. So I said, I'm gonna respect what they're saying because this is what the bride has said. They do not want kids at the wedding. I'm gonna respect it. But then they said, actually, we'll make an allowance.
So you were gonna stay at home?
Yeah, I would.
And then let him be a best man on his own.
What am I going to do? I'm not going to bring my child when the bride and groom have said. It's about respecting their wishes. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to get offended by it.
They're not respecting you. They say, you can come, but your kid can't.
I don't see it that way.
Okay, what if they said that about your husband?
It's their wedding.
What if they said that about your husband? They said, you know what? We've only got a space for 4 or 5 people left, and I've got a couple of friends left. So I'm going to invite you.
I've actually had a friend that had that scenario that where the husband was invited but she wasn't, and they refused to go. I'm not going without my wife.
So what's the difference between that and your child?
To me, that makes more sense to me. If you invite me and you said my husband can't come,
I might even come in anyways. I like to just stay.
But for me, for some people see children as a nuisance.
How? So my child is nuisance.
I'm being honest. Kids can
people think that way. Yeah.
And the thing is, I know how my daughter is. Like, they get irritable. They can get restless. It can be a long day from being in the church to being at the reception.
A little chokehold and send them to sleep, innit?
That's another pod. Being kids.
And part of the reason why I generally don't like to bring my child to weddings is because I just feel like it's not fair on the child. Like, it's boring.
But no, see, it's boring for you. You say that, but there's children that love weddings,
Yeah, but it also depends. It also depends on their age.
Food, drink, and other children
but
to
it
play
also
with.
depends on their age. Like, my daughter now is 2. Taking her to weddings is torture. She doesn't like it. It's boring. You got to force her to sit in one place.
What are we talking about? Because what I see is kids at all ages, from the age of like 1, dancing, and they'll have a little crowd even enjoying themselves and interacting with other kids.
That's at the end.
Hold on.
But during the day, you've got the wedding, and you know how our ceremonies can go on for hours, and then you get to the reception before we now eat, before we now do anything. They're doing like
problem?
So towards the end, it's fun. You're not seeing.
What is the problem? Because as far as I'm concerned, there's no issue.
I'll say this: a lot of things have changed from when we were a lot younger. Because before I moved away, I used to live in Hackney before moving to New York.
But you're one of the people there. Good to know.
Good spirit.
So I was up around Evelyn Court, and then there was a place called Samuel Lewis just across the road.
Ends.
Everyone just used to just have whole parties, wherever it was weddings and all that other stuff. And kids was a part of it. You go there. I remember going there as a kid. You're flying around, kicking cans, playing football, doing all that stuff.
Exactly. Dirty your clothes.
But then now, as things have progressed and everyone's kind of got older, everyone likes this whole, grown and sexy vibe about events that they want to do. They want it with a certain, amount of elegance, and they want it to be sophisticated. And kids somehow take away from that.
You know what I think part of it is?
I see one side, but then I'm still on the other side. For me, if there was a function and there was no extra cost, I don't mind having kids there.
You don't mind or you want?
No, not that I want. I don't mind. As in, like, I'm cool either way. Okay. Like, if I see the kids and they're having fun, I'm cool. I'm happy with that.
You're not on the other side then, because on the other side is children should be there. They're part of the family unit.
I'm not gonna say should be. You don't. I mean,
that's what I think.
Are you more of
our parents? I don't think you. I think if you had told my parents at a wedding, they couldn't, like, in their formative years, in their 30s, when they had their free children.
I don't think there was even a conversation to be had with them.
But if somebody bought, but this is my point. So my point is, it is a should. Your children should be there. It's not even a full process for me to ever say don't bring your children. It's not only is it a disrespect, but 2, it's the fault of breaking up. It sounds dramatic.
It does, because it is.
Yes, but
it's very dramatic.
Why disrespect though?
Because you're just like you said. When I said, would you invite one partner and not the other, and you found that disrespectful?
No. I didn't say it's disrespectful, but I can see why people would have an issue with it. I didn't say it's disrespectful.
Would you have an issue with it
if he was invited and I wasn't,
or vice versa? Yes,
I would feel a kind of way, but then I'd want to know, like, why.
Okay.
I don't
just
like,
because they have limited numbers and they've chosen.
I mean, I can't get angry at that. If they have limited numbers, then it's my choice whether I go or not. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I know how costly weddings can be. What if it's a
mutual friend and they've just chose your husband over you?
Just purely because they want him there, not me.
Because I'm more fun, by the way.
Well, then we have an issue. But if it's, again, I've been through the wedding process. I know how expensive it can be. So I'm always going to be like more understanding.
This conversation is too sensible. I want to get ratchet now. Have you lost any friends over this? What's the beef?
No, I've not lost any over not inviting
children.
I think it's also want to make it clear. It's not like we didn't have no kids at all at our wedding.
So they had the important kids.
Exactly.
The other kids were not important.
I made allowance.
The Oxfam kids.
I did make allowances for some people. Like, I did, of course. But the general rule was, like, if you can, I don't want kids there.
Then I have some
Obviously,
more.
if you were telling me that, like, babe, honestly, I don't have anyone to look after my child, I'm not going to be like, well, you can't come. Like, it wasn't that kind of rule.
I would have even told you that, boy. It's like, oh, enjoy.
But and I was happy that people respected it. People literally would reach out to me and say, Tops, like, I can't, like, I have to bring her. I don't have a minder. I'm gonna be like, okay, cool, of course, come.
So you're not back in it, eh?
You don't have a minder. You don't have a wedding to go do. I have one.
Can you see how mad that would be if I was just
Not
like,
really.
No. If you're saying that's what it is, that's what it is, isn't it? If you can't come, you can't come.
But it also depends on the relationship.
So you were
for
soft
me.
on it then?
Like,
You
it
weren't
wasn't that
hard
I
on
was
it?
soft.
So the people that are important can bring their children, and the least important people, even though you're invited
I mean,
them
it would
to
depend.
the biggest, well,
It would depend.
potentially the biggest day of your life. Like, you still
It would
can't-
depend.
I'm gonna come to you in a minute because you're talking about Nigerian traditions, but you had your own wahala on your own wedding.
Oh.
But let me just bring it back to the children thing, yeah. Even back to this thing now where we're talking about children and parties. I have a wedding with no dancing competition, bruv. The children do the dancing competition.
Yeah, but
all these typical things are part of a party as a Nigerian.
Yeah, but that's
you
if
have
that's
the
what
children
you
entertain you.
if that's what you want at your wedding,
I
by
want
all
it.
means have it. But again, it's different things for different people.
I'm gonna ask a personal question.
That's how you make the money, you know.
Is there a video of your wedding online?
Online.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a trailer. Yeah.
I want to see.
I'm gonna ask a personal
Show
question.
me
It was
the
a
video.
rave.
I want to ask a personal question. I don't get offended. Was there any money sprayed at your wedding?
Yes.
So the children lost out again then?
It's true because they're money grabbers, you know. They're the ones that are supposed to pick up the money from
Children
the
would have lost that anyways. You know how it goes. Oh,
Let me
how
hold-
much?
let me-
How
let me
much?
hold that
How
for
much
you.
they spray you? Oh, $100. Don't worry, I'll look after it for you.
and it's gone.
By the time you get home, you ask for it. Like, what are you
Dave,
talking about?
Hang on. So what? Are people? That was us. That was our generation. Are people still doing that now?
Why
course.
would they stop? I'm doing it to.
I'll be doing
my
it
own
as
child.
well.
I'll do it to his niece. I'll do it to his child.
No, I'm not doing
Oh, yeah,
it with my
bring it.
daughter.
I'm
Like,
doing it. I'm
literally,
definitely
if
doing that to
anyone
my
gives me
daughter.
money for her, it goes straight
Yeah,
into her
bring
account.
it.
I'm
I'm
not taking
definitely
money
doing
from her.
that to my daughter.
It's my account.
I definitely.
It's not.
You don't put in on this house.
Yeah, exactly.
What's that?
Oh, yeah, I'll
Thank
bring
you.
this
I'll
thing.
have that.
I'll do it with food.
Okay. All right. And just as a quick question, then, because I don't
Don't go
think
for it because I'm still gonna come back to you to ask you the question.
All right.
about
Well,
it.
then just keep that on deck because we're gonna just move slightly. That actor, children or no children?
Children all day.
Simple Simon.
Yeah, children.
Mr. Wolf has made his views known.
Yeah, what those two
Wahala's
say.
made his views known.
I
Stavros has
want,
made his views
I want
known.
some people to go home early, innit? So the children will make them go home early.
Exactly.
All right. So say your thing then. And then
All
we'll
right,
move on to
because
the
we were
next
talking about these. He's talking about Nigerian traditions. One of the Nigerian traditions is that you know full well that guests should be able to bring people that you don't know to your wedding. That is a Nigerian thing.
No, I don't know about that.
topic. Exactly.
What Nigerian
Yeah,
wedding
That's
have you
actually
been
facts.
to? It's
That's
facts,
facts.
bro.
That's
It is
facts.
facts that you know that +1 means +10.
All right.
Right?
Continue.
Stavros.
Nah, see, that's one thing that we were strict on with our wedding as well.
So was Stavros to the point where he was wanting to attack an auntie.
Nah, we were strict. We were strict.
I had-
Don't bring.
I had security at my door.
He had security at the door. The use of security was dancing. So when the auntie came in with the person that wasn't meant to be on the guest list, she snuck it in quite nicely. She came and sat down. This is what made me laugh though. We're all talking about this children thing. She actually removed one of her children to bring the guest that nobody knows. But anyway,
That's actually a disrespect though for you to have security at your door. Someone could turn around and say that's a disrespect.
it was a disrespect.
And then also
Yeah. Go on.
if you're, I don't know, was this the white wedding or the traditional?
This was at the white wedding. At the
Okay,
security.
so the white wedding.
At the traditional, bring who you want.
Okay, so at the white wedding, you said
Oh, you bought with it.
there's a certain amount of people that you can bring.
No, there's just names. There's no,
So just-
there's nobody. You can't bring anybody. The name
So-
of the person that's meant to
So
come
you
is
know
there.
you know how these you got A girls, you got A aunties, some of your aunties that'll come and she'll come with her friends. So you were having people thrown out the door.
If the security was advised, and so Wahala said they didn't do their job properly.
So she had
but
a
they,
list.
but they had a guest list. Everyone had their own invite. The security were told in no uncertain terms. Even my wife was like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." I told them, "Listen, if they come and their name's not done and they don't have the invite, don't let them in. I don't care which auntie or uncle it is. They could say, "Oh, his mum said." I don't care. Don't come and
so you know in our culture,
don't even
you
come and
already know
don't
in our
even come and
culture.
ask for me. Just tell them no. Go.
In our culture, that's a big
I
disrespect.
said I'll pay you even more for sending them away.
He wanted Gellis to be flying in the wind.
I said,
That's how bad it
No,
was.
but
that.
what-
Sorry,
I
Simbi,
think-
your
I
name is
think
not
it's-
down. You're not coming in.
I think it's disrespectful you to turn up at a wedding that you weren't invited to.
Thank you.
That's disrespectful.
That's
but that's
Nigerian.
that's what
doesn't
they
make it
do.
right.
They just turn
Doesn't
up.
make it
Right,
right.
Tops.
That's-
Let me
that's
tell you
their
something.
business,
I said this story before, but
Because I told people that don't invite. Because I told everybody, yeah. So this is fair enough.
Oh, God,
I told you
stop,
beforehand. Don't bring anybody.
You also
They're
told
not
people
allowed.
to come late, but you came late.
Can I finish? I told everybody, all my uncles, the people that I thought would actually do it. Don't bring anybody I've got security. I'm not letting them in. And I told them specifically that I've told them if you bring anybody that is not meant to come, they're not letting you in. So I'm letting you know now. And they will say, you're really? I said, yes, uncle. Yes, auntie. I'm not joking. That is the case.
Once he's given that speech
chance
to
it.
them, I don't think that there's much room for debate.
This
to
one
be
auntie,
honest.
I forgot. And everyone's like,
Me.
you didn't tell her. Of course you should have told her.
So you didn't tell her.
So essentially, whose wedding was it? Was it your wife's wedding or your wedding?
Because he said he
our wedding.
didn't care, did he?
Yeah.
No,
But obviously he cared a lot.
So I didn't say that there's certain things that
I'm trying to figure
important.
out, yeah.
And that was important to my wife as well. That people because end of the day, even though it's a large wedding, we only had certain seats for certain people. If more people came, there were no seats for you.
Yeah, you stand in the back.
No.
We actually had people standing in the back. So we was on this. We had invites. Excuse me, for who we wanted to come, and we got married in the Korean.
Get it right now. Get it
Got
right.
it right. That's up north somewhere, near Ali Pali. See, I remember stuff. And we had a certain amount of people with a certain amount of seats. So we had people turn up that we didn't invite, and they just sat at the back. So not sat, they were standing, and obviously they were there. Some of the random aunties standing there, waiting for people to get up, and then they'll go still some of the table.
And that's like the thing. He's right. We didn't actually have that many pop-ups as I thought we would, which I was really happy about. So I remember
She called them pop-ups.
So that's what they are, bro.
Straddlers.
the thing is, it's like even the venue were like, you do have to make allowances for people that may just come. So we didn't have as many as I thought we would. So I was tapped during the saying that certain people should we put another table out, and I was just like, yeah, they're here now. By this point, it was like
That's more money, as far as I'm concerned. As long as they come to spray, I don't have a problem, boy.
we were just like, yeah, they were like basically they're standing. They were like,
I didn't have a buffet. So
neither did we.
Yeah, so it was set.
Listen, they
That's
will
it.
bring their own food. Some of them, they have coolers.
Anyways,
My question
Your
is:
question.
Go on.
trays, cups, t-shirts with Joseph Weds tops. Did you have it at your wedding?
Oh, those tacky.
Yes.
Nah.
I don't like this girl, you know. I don't like your wife, man.
Wait,
She's
wait,
just
wait.
disrespecting Nigerians all over the
What
place.
were we even talking about here?
And what did you have?
Those tacky memorabilia that they do.
The bags of rice,
Drop the mic, you know.
the soap.
I hate.
Well, how
They'll
wants
do
to
one
leave now.
Yeah, you
random
didn't
plastic
have that.
cup and some.
So
I've got a
hate
pretty
that.
good. I've got a nice story on that.
I hate that
No,
stuff.
you
Listen, if you don't have a bucket with your face on it, then you have a. You're not. You two ain't
No,
married.
I told
You
my
two ain't
mum.
married.
I told my mum,
So
don't waste money on
Miss
that.
Bad and Bougie over here.
I told my mum, don't do it. Do not do it.
Told her mum not to. Her mum did it anyway.
Me.
What did she do?
Oh, you missed out on that one, didn't you?
What did she do?
There was like napkins.
Hey,
Stuff.
you didn't see it.
She did napkins, and then that was about it.
That's
napkins.
Yeah, but
Enough.
that's enough.
That is his gift.
Well, I wasn't gonna have
Tops, why you lying,
buckets.
man? Why did you lie?
I
There was
told
stuff
her
there.
explicitly. I said I do not want, because she kept asking me, "Can I have a picture of you?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm not. Do not do any of that rubbish."
She asked me, and I was like,
I was just like, nah. They wanted to do. She's like, oh, maybe we'll do pens or we'll do magnets or we'll do this. I was like, I hate that.
So what did you do?
Bands,
Did you do
pencils.
gifts?
I did what I wanted to do. I gave out like favors that I did. But then she wanted to do the traditional like tacky ones.
Salt.
What did you do? Bath
So
salts?
Salt.
I find them tacky.
I saw
I did like the
all
little.
sorts of crazy stuff.
I did like the little organza bags that had like the almond sugar coated thingies.
What's that got to do for anybody's life?
They were nice.
But what
And they were
happens when I want to
elegant.
bath?
And you see, and you guys tried to tell me that she hasn't had this planned for God knows how long.
Exactly.
Look at
That's what I'm saying.
this. You just see.
Listen, let me tell you.
I don't like them.
There's gonna be a day, yeah, when you need that bucket in that house, and you're like, I need a
For
bucket,
what?
and then you just say, "Kule, where's Akin or whatever?" And you be like, "Hey, the bucket is there. The bucket is there."
Notepad, pen,
Yeah,
tray,
Nah.
the
you know,
trays, yes.
Tupperware, the whole lot. bro.
I swear down, right? One time at a
Tupperware's
wedding,
the
yeah,
one.
I got that. You know them? What did you call them things that you sleep with? That
That
mask.
cover your eyes.
The mask that that blackout completely. Yeah, first class Emirates. At a wedding.
At a wedding.
They gave it out as gift.
The best one I've seen so far was someone handing out sacks of salt.
Yeah, I've seen
So salt, rice,
Yeah.
but it's useful though.
very liquid,
Yes.
non-bio by the way. All kinds of
This might have been the same wedding, you know. Where was this? Was this in Hackney?
No, I'm not joking because we had the same wedding.
detergent for clothes when you're for the washing machine.
Yes,
and stuff.
yes.
I've seen all kinds of.
Was this
so-
in Hackney? I'm not joking.
Was it in Hackney? No, I don't think it was.
Because we went to a wedding and the salt came out, and I was like, "What is this?"
Blocks of salt as well. Not like.
But they
I don't
said they because Nigerians like to remix things, so they were saying, there's something to do with salt in your life or whatever.
Yeah.
So they were like, that's why
You'll have flavour in your life
I
or
said,
something.
this is table salt.
Yeah.
You just want to flavour your love. Don't lie to us.
One saxo salt.
All right. So we've come to a conclusion on that. Then Tops, there was I've sent a list of topics to discuss, and there were a couple of things that you wanted to talk about. So I'll let you introduce the next topic, whichever one that you wanted to mention.
Can she remember?
Let's see.
There was a few, but I wanted to kind of lighten it a little bit. Cardi B.
Okay.
Oh, see, I don't know nothing about this. Go on.
Apparently, she's pregnant.
Oh yeah.
You're,
And then-
speaking to the wrong people, you know.
And there was but your opinion on a lot of people feel that she is ruining her career by being pregnant at this point in time,
By having kids, basically.
by having kids.
Well, yeah, it's true. Okay. And,
You think it's true? You think it's true?
potentially, yeah.
Why?
Because she can't do what she would be able to do if she wasn't pregnant.
What thought on Bob?
Like what?
Like go on tours potentially.
Okay.
Like
needs a tour.
she said she's gonna release an album next month.
Right.
So maybe maybe she can't. You have to push this stuff, innit? You have to promote it.
Mm-hmm.
So she won't be able to do as much, especially if she doesn't have a smooth pregnancy. She's gonna be
She
at
ain't
home.
Beyonce.
So as much as it might sound sexy, maybe that's how people are saying it. It's a sexist thing, but it's not. It's just
No,
realism.
it's not. It's biology. Like it's
So then
what
you're
it is.
answering the
No,
your
I'm
own
not
question
answering.
then.
I wanted to just get what you guys thought.
Well, biology says that a woman can't do exactly what she was doing before she was pregnant while she's pregnant. And the music business is a harsh and taxing business. So I don't know about once the baby's born. Maybe she might push it to the side and have a nanny.
Push it to the side.
and do what she's doing. Well, look, Beyonce and Jay-Z are about to go on tour, and they got twins that are less than a year old.
yeah.
And
Free
so
kids. 3 children.
but the other one at least has spent some time with them, maybe. But these two, they're twins, and they're gonna be pushed to the side. Whilst look, Serena's,
They can still go with them on tour though.
they can. Don't get me wrong.
They got
But-
enough money to take their children with them.
True, and at the end of the day, they're only performing
And they got houses in probably most of the
places that
they're going to as well.
But the point is that it's just different, innit? It's just different. So, at her stage in her career, she started off doing her Instagram things or being a stripper. She went on to Love and Hip Hop, I believe, and then she's had this hit single. I think she's at the crux now of this is where she can blow and come and
it's
turn
make or break time.
completely mainstream. So yes, having a child at this moment, especially if it's a male orientated. So you as a woman know that
It depends where she's going, though,
I
bro.
heard you on a podcast when you're talking about having children and what it was like when you're thinking of going back to work. And so what's the difference with her?
I haven't said what I think about
She
either
just
way.
went you know your
I
opinion.
just wanted to have
Yeah,
your.
but I only asked you a question as well. I said, what's
Yeah.
the difference?
What's the thing is, it's like, I spoke about it on a podcast, and I'm actually having an event, by the way, to discuss this.
You were promoted at the end.
Plug.
Yeah, but about like women having kids and stuff like that.
Why don't
And-
you use that voice the whole way through? It's sounded a lot smoother on this thing here.
All right, you want me to talk like
No,
this?
let's say how you're speaking.
I'm only joking. Go ahead.
Big
Um,
tops.
Innit?
I
Telephone
think
voice.
I think it's interesting the reaction to her wanting, because the thing is, apparently Cardi's being actually quite honest about wanting to have kids at 25. She's been quite honest, and I think a lot of people assume, we project a lot on people. We assume that this is a mistake, or this could be exactly what she wants. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like if that's exactly what she wants, then of course it's not a mistake.
Well,
No,
I think
her husband's got money in it. She don't
Her
really
husband?
need
She ain't
to.
got no husband.
Her
It's
fiance.
Offset.
Her fiance.
Yeah.
I think that in the end, with me, I think we do things backwards in this world anyway. Because I think the whole reason why we're here in the first place as human beings is to make more human beings. So she's doing the right thing. That's the way I would look at it. Whether or not she wants to do it now or do it later, that's here or there. But you could say, let me do this later, and then something can happen and she can't have kids. And then she'll be regretting that for the rest of her life.
Joseph, you've been very animated there on the side, just shaking your
I
head.
just
moving
can't
backwards
wait
and
for
forwards.
those weirdos to come finish him online after what he said. You know those weirdos that talk about, because he just said we're here to make more humans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that will disagree with what you said.
That's because they went to go and do nonsense.
I can't wait for them to start
Let them
pamming
come.
you.
Let
You
them
need
come.
to.
I mean,
Let them come. I'm
Yeah,
fat. I know
no,
how to cuss.
Our audience is not
go
like that,
forth.
so
Go forth and multiply.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
listen.
a Christian
Man
thing, innit?
is spitting Bible
That's
bars.
not a
Go
Christian.
for
I'm
it.
not even talking about in the Christian sense.
No.
I'm talking about in nature. Every other animal goes and makes more animals. That's what you do.
I don't.
Plant do the same thing. Everything does the same thing. Only human beings decided to be stupid enough to create work. Why?
Yeah, no, I'm
What
with
reason,
you.
What purpose do we do? What purpose is work?
I'm with you, Wahala.
What purpose is it?
I'm with
Apart
you.
from to cause you upset and give you stress.
I'm with you.
You only human beings find a way to kill each other more efficiently and cause themselves more stress.
I'm with you.
Because we're meant to be the smartest human beings. When the cats and the dogs are out there just jamming,
The
entering,
smartest.
sleeping, enter, sleep, enter, sleep,
smartest-
enter, sleep,
the
enter,
smartest
eat, enter,
manimal,
sleep.
yeah?
What's the
Animal.
What are we doing? We're just there instead of us to just be doing the same thing where they're complaining
Okay,
about.
all
this.
right, Cardi.
That's what I'm
Cardi.
saying.
Can I
bro.
ask a question for all of you guys? If your partner is at the height of her career, okay, and I'm apologies guys, I'm only assuming it's a woman, so I don't want. I'm only saying that because I don't want
want the
people to
problem.
start coming.
Go
Go ahead
coming
and tell your story, man.
Looking
You
at
know
the
what I'm
actor as you said that, by the way.
Don't
So-
worry about anybody.
It's the monologue. That's
No,
it.
'cause
It's the monologue that did it.
Remember I told you about Nigerian Twitter. The way they came for me, I had to mute. I had to come
What
off.
was it that you said?
I said something about Nigerian women, and they came heavy. They came, and I don't say too much. They dragged me from here to high water. But if your partner was doing really well, and she was really close to, whether it's from a financial perspective, if she was going to really get there, a double in salary or, status, position, and she turns around and she says, "I want to have a kid." But you're so close, and you know that if you don't hit that height sooner
You're
rather
so
than later,
close, or she's so close.
she's so close.
Okay.
For me close as well.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of his mind frame.
But
when he said
she's so close, and having a kid is gonna derail all of that. But she wants a kid. The dilemma is, what do you guys? What are you gonna do? Because this is exactly the same thing that's happening now.
Go on.
Are you asking me first?
Yeah.
Come back to me. I'm thinking about that. Maybe
First,
I'll-
listen.
All that money.
I know you.
All that money.
Simple.
She's the one that says that she wants to have the child.
So she wants to have the kid, but she's also close to just hitting where she wants to be. So whether it's the money, the status, the position, whatever it
Is she aware that she's that close, or is it one of those things where I can see it and she can't?
In this case, I'd like to think that Cardi's aware that she's about to be on something pretty big. So yeah, so she's aware, and you're both aware.
Women are always right. We have the child.
Shut up about women always right. Don't say that.
Yeah.
nonsense.
Mr. Wolf.
Where? If the woman wants to have a child, let her have a child, innit? There's no. We're not talking about two people who are short of knowledge or wisdom. We're talking about
Cardi B and
two
Offset.
people who are. Listen. You can laugh as much as you like. You can laugh. No. Listen. What?
Imagine their arguments.
He recorded himself cheating on his wife and let the videos leak twice. Two different women.
Cardi B and Offset.
Maybe knowledge and wisdom is not the right term, yeah, when you're talking about those two. Yeah, but in terms of the actual story itself, it could be two different people. We're talking about two successful people in their field, innit? We're talking about two people who have made quite a bit of money.
And they got blood issues.
You're filling in all this stuff, but he didn't say all of that, man.
No, well,
He said
if you let me land, then I would have said
got
it,
to the
innit?
point that they were going to make that money.
Yeah, but they're not broke, are they? So So let me hold on, because it's not just them two. That you can think of so many other circumstances of people that you may know who
But
are
those
rich.
two are rich now.
People that you may know who are rich, or people who are in a celebrity field. You can look at someone like Serena Williams.
But she
was
got there, though, isn't she?
but she's on the cusp of, or she was on the cusp of. No, he said that you're about to do something or create something,
Mr.
and he
Wolf.
mentioned money as well. You can talk about Serena Williams in terms of her breaking that record.
Mr. Wolf,
Nah, bro.
the question was directed to you.
And
In your situation, if you were with a partner and it was this, why are you talking about other people?
was it directed
Yeah, it was, bro.
at me?
Yeah.
It was an
Well,
individual
then I'll let
question
them
for
do it.
everyone.
He initially started. Let me
Hello?
ask you guys a question.
Then I would let them do it.
let them. You would let her. have a
Oh,
child.
don't be
No,
so
no,
pedantic,
no,
man.
you
Flipping hell.
No,
Disgraceful.
both
Don't be so
of them.
pedantic.
I've seen now. I've seen what you're like now. I've
Both of
seen
them.
now
I'm
that
saying,
I've
it's so
seen it.
pedantic,
Both of them
man.
to let though, but still.
Let them, or if people want to
They can
have
have it.
babies,
Let
let
us
them
do
have
it.
the baby.
They can
bro.
have
You
it.
don't want a smooth
No,
podcast. man.
the reason why I
you
say
need-
let, yeah, is because it's my sperm.
Oh, so you said it too as well.
I'm a producer.
You have the
innit?
produce.
I was
producer.
thinking that, but then so I didn't,
You know what I'm saying?
I let someone else say that. So
With regards to me,
You know, didn't see it. Topsy just looked at the ring like, okay.
I think in my situation, I would also be quite. I'll be happy for her to do it. I wouldn't just say it let. I wouldn't be like even there's discussion about it because in my head, if she wants to have children and that's what she wants to do, and I want her to be happy, and that's what's gonna make her happy right now, then that's what we're doing.
What are you saying? You're thrusting for twins?
I'll take twins. I'm scared of twins though.
No, you never heard what I said. Are you thrusting for twins?
What's frustrating me? Well, enter.
Enthusiasm, yeah.
Bruv, the sperm does what he needs to do, innit? I can't do anything about that. It's come out like dust.
Stavriki?
So all four of you have said that you would be happy for the woman to have the child, and so you'd support her in that decision.
Yeah.
And Stavros would also say that,
We
but
would
I
all
would
say
say it with the caveat that I would put into thing because sometimes you have to think for the woman on their behalf because sometimes they don't think straight. So
Oh my God.
so
hang on.
Okay, go on. Talk.
Hang on.
Talk.
You have to give Tops the choice.
Tops?
Wait. Tops the choice for whether she can come late or not.
Yes.
But on this occasion, you can think on behalf of
If
the
you
woman.
let me finish, then you would understand what I'm saying.
Go on then.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that I would give advice because end of the day I'm still her husband. So I would say, look, let's sit down and discuss this. I'm happy to have a child. If you want a child, we want children, that's all good. But do you understand that what you may be forsaking is X, Y, and Z? Are you willing to forsake that now for whatever reasons? If she says yes, because I don't think I'll have maybe be able to have children later on, or whatever, as long as you understand all of that, cool. But I don't want it to be just that I've got that feeling, I've got that bug. My friends have
So
got
man
children.
said exactly the same thing I said then.
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, pretty much. And it's not even just that. It's like people need to understand that everyone has different priorities. Like, do you know what I mean? It's about like if my main priority is that look, this is not even what is important to me. Like you said, I'm on the cusp of like becoming big. That may not even be what's important to me. What's important to me is that, do you know what? I just want to have kids. I want to be a mother. That's what's important.
Yeah, that's
I agree with that, but I'm also because I also had my own caveats in regards to this thing.
Go on then.
And my caveat was this: if you want to have the child now, what I don't want you to do, and this is what I'll get a bit pissed off, is that you have the child, then you dump the child with the nanny, and then decide you want to go and do what you're doing. If you're gonna have that child, you look after the child.
no, see, you're starting. That's another thing you're starting there.
I'm not saying we can look after the child
Because
together,
in
but it's not you look after the child, wahala, and I'm going to go back and do my this thing. No, this child is not
So
going.
so women can't do both.
There we go.
Is that what you're saying?
Which both?
Tried to help you out there.
So you're saying that women can't do both. So I
Can't be a mother and
I
can't be successful.
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
That's not what I said. I said
You just
what
said
I
that
said-
I can't. That the woman can't have the child,
Look,
and
the
then
finger is being waved.
you
I'm with my
said-
own finger.
you said that you
Yeah.
can't have a child and then now go off and do your own thing and
Pam,
then dump
pam,
the
pam.
child
Keep pamming.
with the nanny.
Yeah.
So are you saying that she can't have be a mother and also be successful in her professional career or whatever?
If you listen to what I've said, which you just
Which I
repeated,
did.
was
Hand movements are very
which
important.
I just said. Hold on. Which I said was you cannot have the child, dump the child with the nanny, and then go and do what you're doing. So if you're saying to me, I'm going to go and do the work and I'm going to look after the child, that's not dumping the child with the nanny and going and doing what you're doing.
Yeah, but you do realize that successful working women will need support and they need help.
Well, then why are you dumping in with the nanny?
Then
So-
don't be successful. Be a
Whichever
successful
one.
mother, not a successful worker.
So effectively, you're saying that women can't do both. That's basically what you're saying.
I'm saying don't dump that child with the nanny. That's what I'm telling you.
No. What you're saying is that because if in order for me to be able to do both, I'm going to need to
So
have
that's
some
you.
help.
That's
And
you. Other women might not be you. Other women might be more in a position where they can do it about the nanny.
You're trying to tell me that somebody like a Beyonce, like a Cardi, like
I don't
they
care about them
are
women.
able to do. Okay, let's bring it back down to earth.
That's the point. But
Let's bring it back down to earth. Even me, right? Like I work full time.
Yes.
But then I also have a child. In order for me to be able to do the little things that I do, even being here now, like we're recording. What's the time?
Don't blame us.
Hold
Don't
on,
blame
hold
us.
on.
Even being here at 11:30, like my child ain't here.
Let me ask
She's
you a
with
question.
someone else.
Let me ask you a question because this is what I'm saying. We've gone too far forward into this future. Back home, what do? Do you think the women that have children that are not in the market, where's their baby? On their back.
I don't live
On their back, my friend.
I don't. So you wanted me to bring my
let
daughter
your baby
on my
put
back?
it on your back and go to work if you want to be going there somewhere.
If you're gonna bring your daughter, I'd bring my daughter to them two could play.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Maybe
As far as I'm
next
concerned, it's like this, yeah? It's like
No, but
this.
she won't have that because
You
you're not
told
allowed
me
to bring kids
My
anyway.
wife would have told
I
me.
knew someone
my
was
wife would
gonna
have
say
told me
that.
You told me you want to stop what you're doing to have a child. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it then. Then stop what you're doing, innit?
Do you know what?
No. See, as a woman, I'm gonna obviously take some time out to have a child because I need to. You need to do that physically anyway. Like I need to go off and have a child. But that does not now mean that now that I've gone off and had a child, that other areas of my life now stop. Of course
I'm
they
not
don't.
saying you have to stop. But you told me
that's what you're saying.
You told me you wanted to stop. I didn't ask you.
Yeah,
you know?
to have a child.
Yeah, you've had it.
Not indefinitely.
So then what? So when you have your child, it's no longer your responsibility. You've
Of
done
course,
right.
of course
So
it
then
is.
why are you telling me this?
Of course
So
it
what?
is. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna go off and have a child. I'm gonna be pregnant for 9 months. You're gonna be off on maternity leave or whatever. Once all that's done, I'm going back to work.
Nobody said you can never go back to work. The way you're
No,
making
but that's
hold
pretty
on,
much
hold
what
on.
you've been saying, though.
No,
You said
no,
I
no,
can't
no,
do both.
No.
That I have to be the one in the house. I have to be the one to cook dinner. Like, that's what you're saying.
I'm sorry if this is your life because that's not what I said. I said.
Hey, uncle.
I say because I don't want this problem.
To be fair, I won't do that. This was covering.
You did warn me. But every time I know that you lot have had this.
No. So see, when it comes to women, when it comes and the stuff about
careful what
having
you say,
kids,
bro.
Exactly. He started the sentence off when it comes to women, you know.
Every
And
time
the stance changed.
if they want to have kids and you say to them, for example, yeah, sure, you can have a kid, but when you have the baby, you have to take care of the child. You can't do this, you can't do that. That's like giving them it's like giving them the option to do something, but then taking away the option.
I said we. I said not just you. So both of us will look after the child.
We need to remember that the woman can okay.
I've taken off.
Okay,
Let me learn.
one at a time.
If there's a caveat to giving them, okay, you'll do this, but on the condition of this. From experience, if they want to have a kid, then how they want to deal with their life afterwards, you're just going to have to, as a husband or as a man, you're just going to have to trust them enough to know that the kid will be good and they'll be able to balance that out. And if we're talking about this, the situation with Cardi B, people, a lot of radio personalities are talking about why is she having a kid now? She hasn't, she's the hottest female rapper right now. And she's dropped 2 singles. She's about to drop an album. She's literally about to be on this massive wave where the money, the fame, whatever it is, she's so close to it. Why ruin it now by having kids? Okay, well, if she has the kid, is she and the way the industry is so short term, are people going to be riding that wave after 9 months? Or
I don't think so.
I don't think she's ruining anything.
And that's why I asked you guys. That's why I asked you guys. With so much so close, and with what's at stake, would you give in and be like, okay, have your kid?
But she can flip it. Cardi can flip it because she can then start. Because remember, she still does reality. Reality is still her thing. So she could say, you know what, I'm going to do a show where
she doesn't do reality anymore.
No, but it's still her thing.
There are rumours apparently that her and Offset are going to do a reality show.
And it'll just be like, boom, we just do a show where I'm pregnant for 9 months. They have shows like that. I saw them one the other day where they're pregnant for 9 months. They show them being pregnant for 9 months, and then they have a following show of them having the baby, and that's how they.
But what we're doing here is we're saying that the second that she becomes pregnant, that she becomes null and void.
I was just going to say that. We're
so
talking
hold
on the assumption.
That's what I'm saying. So she finds out that she's pregnant. And like my ex, when she got pregnant and she had my first son, she was at work for 8 of the 9.5 months.
Look at you.
You get me?
Slave driver.
And there's some women
should be ashamed of yourself.
It's not me. It's what she wanted to do, innit? It's what she wanted to do. And there's some women who, after childbirth, within a month, they're back at work. So she is in a position where she can be pregnant. Well, she can be pregnant for the 9 months, does a lot of what she's been doing previously, has her child, and continues to do the same thing.
Let me ask you a question.
Just like just like Serena Williams, she stopped working, she stopped playing tennis for about 7 or 8 months, and then she started training, and she had her first couple of matches about 2 months ago.
Sister beat her ass. So, are you happy if somebody that you're going out with has a child, and then you could afford a nanny? decides I'm going back to work as soon as my body's healed. So a month, she's back at work. So the child is now with the nanny. You're working. Would you be happy with that?
My preference would be for.
Would you be happy?
Can I finish, bro?
Because you're not answering the question.
But let him finish.
What's wrong with you, man?
Because we need to move on. So
Yeah, but you stop
man.
making
How many
it
times
worse, man.
all you man are chatting
Let him finish.
and saying your piece? When I'm saying my piece, you want me to close the question.
You know what? You need to
What's
start.
wrong with
You need to start showing that you're older than him. Give
That's
us
what I'm saying. You want me just to say yes or no and then move on? Just let me land.
Say what you're saying,
that's
Mr.
yes, that's what I want.
Say what you're saying, man.
But
Say-
you
I'm
put it your
still
way,
back
and then
to it,
I have to ask the question again because you didn't answer it. Go on.
Guys always say forever.
Cut. Say what you're saying, bro.
My preference would be for my partner to remain with our child. You get me? So, in essence, no, I wouldn't be.
Right.
So that's what I was going to say.
Wonderful.
And
If
I
you
would have
feel
finished
so
it.
strongly
So-
about
so
it,
then-
then why
sorry?
don't you stay at home?
No, it's not about me feeling so strongly about it. I said it would be my
He has
preference.
no breast.
It would be my preference. You get me? And we would have a discussion about it.
Okay,
And
Tops.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You just said if he feels so strongly about it, why doesn't he stay at home? And my brother said he has no breast.
Right.
So my view is that it's the woman's job.
Oh, uncle.
It's her job. It's her role. You're the mother. There are certain things that you can do that I can't do. Now, I work shift work, and I spend as much time with my child as my wife does, because when I'm not at work, I'm with the child. So there's days that I don't go into to work. She's with me all day. Yada, yada, yada. But when my daughter's upset, it's mummy she wants. That's it.
Yeah.
So when I leave the house, she waves bye-bye, daddy. When her mum leaves the house, she's running and crying. Yeah?
It's
It's
basically
mummy she wants. So that is the connection that those two have.
God's plan.
Can
Yeah,
I ask a question?
So, do you understand that? Do you agree with that, or do you feel that are you such a equalist? I don't know if that's a real word, but that you feel that like it makes no difference if it was the man or the woman that was at home.
No, I'm not that much of an equalist. I don't feel like that's realistic. I think when a woman first has a child, there is that connection between the mother and the child that something you just can't explain. It's just what it is.
You can very explain it. They have milk that the child has.
Well, yeah, there's the physical aspect. You know what I mean? You know, you need to obviously some women that choose not to breastfeed.
Okay, yes, yes.
Sacrilegious.
But I.
Blood of Nebuchadnezzar.
Ladies, it is okay if you choose not to breastfeed.
What's the point of the breast?
What?
No, of course it's fine.
This is an interesting.
But what is the
subject.
point of the
We'll-
breast?
We'll come back to
Huh?
that.
What, unless it's an actual problem, yeah,
Or
with the
If
breastfeeding.
you had a boob job,
which
No,
again,
you can
it-
still
it-
breastfeed
you
if
can-
you've had a
Is it?
Nowadays you can.
changed
Yeah.
it.
it sounds
But
like
if there's something wrong, or maybe it's very painful or stuff like that, I get it. But if you just,
No, but that's the thing though. You can't. Like,
if
I
you
think,
just don't
I
want to
think-
give your child breast milk, then sorry, you're taking a piss. Because
No,
what is
no.
it
I
there
think.
for?
Do you know what? I feel like having this conversation with a bunch of guys is really interesting because you guys are not going to understand. I think I don't want to get into the. I don't want to get.
We are stupid.
No. It's not even that. I don't want to get into the whole like
Get into
breastfeeding
it.
thing. But
Get
I think
into
if
it.
you. Women are often guilty. Like we feel guilt for a lot of things,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of pressure that are placed on women, especially when they become mothers, to be a certain way. And a lot of the time, pressure is placed on women to be a certain way. So that's you have to breastfeed.
Actually, that's
like
right.
you exclusively, you should breastfeed.
Yeah, the
like,
midwives are bang on.
yeah,
it.
like breast is best and all the rest of it, and like
is
women.
breast.
And yeah, and it is, but then a lot of women go through certain emotions and things like that, and it doesn't always work that way. And we've created a system where women are like already put on this like feeling of they're not good enough. And I've had friends that have chosen not to breastfeed for various reasons, and I'm not going to demonize them for it. Now that I've been through the process myself, Lord knows I did not want to breastfeed, but I chose to.
But I think that this is again a problem with the way
Look
that
at Joseph's face. You didn't want to feed our daughter.
No, I didn't want to.
No, but the way-
Because I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah,
And
I
the
get-
thing
I
is,
get-
when you say it out loud, everyone's like, "Oh
No,
my
I get
god!"
it. It's not. It doesn't look like it's something to me that's an enjoyable thing to do. But that is
Some
the whole.
women- some
but
women
that is-
love it.
But that is the whole point
Yeah.
of a breast.
Some women love
No, there are some women
breastfeeding their
that pop
children.
out and they'll be breastfeed till the kid is
That's what I'm saying,
5. And
because we know that breast is best, and it helps reduce breast cancer. From what I've known, the little bit of reading that I've done, and if we know that it's best, then why can't we encourage?
but
them
it's
to
not that
encourage it?
simple. It's not that simple. Obviously,
I know that
every
there's a
woman.
lot of emotions.
Yeah,
that-
yeah,
that-
They want to get
obviously.
the powdered milk.
It's not that simple.
SMA.
Every woman wants to obviously give their child the best. Like for me, for example, I couldn't do it for the first couple of days, and that was purely because I couldn't, like physically, and I felt horrible. Do you know what I mean? Like you were like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? There are women that can't do it, and there are women that can but choose not to for various reasons. I mean, we've kind of gone, I don't even know what I was even trying to go into.
This is more interesting, don't worry about it. Go on.
But I think that it is very important that the child has that connection with the mother in the first few days, first few weeks. But I think it's also equally important that the child has that with the dad. Sometimes not enough emphasis is placed on that connection between the dad and the child.
We had this discussion not long ago on the podcast. Remember, I was talking about this, and I said, is it easier for dads to leave their children because they don't have this emotional connection that the mother and the daughter has from the beginning of birth? Because even when you have a baby,
Mother and child.
Yeah, sorry, mother and child. So even as a baby, because I think one of you lot told me this thing, I didn't even know about it, where that when they have the baby, they have to put it on the woman's chest straight away to get that connection.
And now with that, as soon as I had her, as soon as she came out, they cleaned her up, whatever, they put her on my chest straight away, because you're supposed to have that skin to skin contact. Now they also do it with the dads. So
yeah.
You
So
don't
what
have
he
to,
would,
but they say that it's a good thing.
it's a good thing.
So you're still second best, even in that notion.
Well, initially, the kid just came out of me. Do you know what I mean? It's
and
like,
exactly, they've had you for a long period of time, so shouldn't they come to me first?
Selfish. Let me have the child.
Bring my child to me now.
Bring my child
then you
until
can
the
go
nanny's there.
after.
Then you can go to the nanny.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
This thing about the breast milk, you know that
The breast milk.
Why are we on the breast milk?
Because this is just. I just wanted to mention this point, but people are shouting. I didn't want to overlap anybody. That when the child gets sick, the milk changes consistency and color and everything. So you can tell what's happening with the child by the mum's milk.
Because the mother's milk is tailored for the child.
But it's not just tailored for the child in one individual circumstance.
No,
every time the baby is changing.
When I say tailored, I mean tailored, as in
So that is
it's
how
patterning for the child.
You can also use breast milk for other things as well, not just like feeding them.
We don't need
but,
to know
like,
what you're doing.
You can use it. Like for the child, you can use it for other things.
Like what?
Like you can use it to apply.
Give them good straight hair.
No.
Go on, say what you're saying. This is very interesting.
I want to hear this.
You can use it. You can apply it on I'm trying to remember what
Like
I used to
rashes and
use it
stuff.
for, like rashes and stuff like that. Like you can apply it on stuff like that. So breast milk is like it's an amazing thing, and it's amazing that our bodies can produce stuff like that. But like I said, it's just not always that easy for women, and I think that sometimes we need to be a bit sensitive because people, like I said, people are demonized for it. Like when people found out that my friend wasn't breastfeeding, it was literally like, oh my God, why? What are you doing? Like, and
She's a witch.
But for me, that's deep. But for me, yeah, I'm very much
so
about
bad, man.
like taking into account people's situation.
Yeah.
I'm very much in for that, yeah. But with the breastfeeding thing, I have a really strong opinion that if it's not for medical reasons, because I've known quite a few women that have had children and what have you, and we've had the conversation about breast milk and what have you. A lot of them are bang on it. Some of them are not so clued up about how important it is, and then they find out and then they get into it. And then there's others that, for vanity metrics, saying that they're not going to do it.
yeah.
Because the breast will sag and things
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
All those other type of things. And I get upset with them because yes, it's your body and you should be able to choose and all the rest of it, but this is very
all part
important.
of raising
no,
a
I
child.
agree.
So I'm in like in a position where if a woman is able to breastfeed, there's no medical condition or reason for her not being able to breastfeed, and she chooses not to. I don't trust her.
So can I
Not trust.
I don't trust her.
Yeah, I can understand the not trust as well. Even that's witchcraft. No, it's not witchcraft. I'm just playing. But even if you don't breastfeed, so let's say in the case of your friend, does she still pump?
No.
So it's just SMA.
Straight to formula.
That's like white cocaine right there. You know that, innit?
Sorry, can I ask?
Mansplaining.
Is that for
Cosmetic.
physical reasons?
That's what he was saying
Is
about the vanity
Yeah,
side of it.
Well,
and-
in that situation, it was just far too painful. She couldn't deal with it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
Painful.
That's the
So
next
that's
thing.
physical. And,
She just couldn't deal with
yeah,
it. So,
that's fair enough.
and I can understand that. I was able to fight through it. And God knows it was a very difficult couple of weeks, and I don't know how I did get through it, but then I could, and that's why for me I can totally understand if someone is like, do you know what? Because the thing is, you need to remember you are working off of very minimal sleep. Your body has gone through like a very traumatic process,
Wake up, my friends.
and then here you are now having to go through something that's even more.
That's what she
So-
told me. Actually.
So really, it's like, and then the doctor's advice was like, look, you need to sort of weigh up, like, you know, because the mother also needs to be in good health.
Yeah,
and
you don't want
also,
them depressed.
Do you know what I mean? And if it's something that is really causing you so much pain and distress, and you can't deal with it, you're not going to be in a position to be the best parent you can.
See, that's what I said. Pain.
So sometimes
pain.
So sometimes you have to make a decision that is best for you, that ultimately is best for your child. So in that situation, it was best for her to say, do you know what? I'm not going to breastfeed.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. You guys is doing a lot of mansplaining right now. It's disgraceful.
I love it.
I don't co-sign.
What's going on next, man? There's bare topics here.
Yeah, we have a load
Can
of
get
topics.
through them all, bro.
No, we cannot.
Thank
So
God.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a few out, and I'm going to let us decide what we're going to talk about, and then we're going to wrap up after probably one or two things, maybe, or we can just do things quickly. So we have the Michael Blackson Breakfast Club interview where they ambushed him. I'm sure you guys don't want to talk about that.
They didn't ambush him. But go ahead.
Ambush Michael Blackson.
Yeah,
I have no idea, bro.
have you seen the interview?
No.
He came on, and obviously he had spoken about Kevin Hart and his infidelity.
Okay.
So when he came onto the thingy, all they spoke about was Kevin Hart, and then they called up his ex to talk about when he cheated on her.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So anyway, that was that. So then you have the acid, the 70-year-old dude, the moped one. Anyway, he's got jailed for 10 years. The one that did the acid attack in Hackney, going around stealing mopeds.
He got caught and his mate didn't.
He didn't snitch. That could have been a whole separate conversation about snitching. So only one of them got caught, and he's got done for 10 years. He was the black one. The white one got away.
Well, there you go.
I'll snitch.
Goddamn 47. The black boy saved the white boy.
That's how it is.
Just
isn't
like
it?
in the movies.
Just like in the movies.
You get me?
All right, we have that minor league baseball player, Danry Vásquez.
That's what we should talk about. Let's start with
And
that one.
Hold on.
he's the one
Let's
that
hear what they all
he got caught on camera slapping his woman. He got off because she
never
basically
pressed charges.
and now it was girlfriends at the time. Now they're engaged to be married.
Wait. Keep going. Sorry, don't react. Keep going.
We have the Rihanna and Chris Brown Snapchat ad.
That was disrespectful.
You
Where
can merge those two together.
Go on, keep going.
okay, yeah, we could. Well, let me say in case we don't go back to it, where the advert was, would you rather slap Rihanna or punch Chris Brown? And it was some sort of advert for a sign. The advert was just so happened to be on Snapchat, and Rihanna sent a message to Snapchat telling them,
Hey, my loves.
how bad. We got DJ Envy versus Jesus and Mero. Where
Yes,
this would have been important because
I like to talk about that
it's
one.
actually applicable to me. Where one of them made a comment about his wife would have been happy with the money that DJ Envy was making, and he took offense to it. He harbored it for X amount of time.
He didn't take offense to it.
He could have. Well, maybe his wife did.
His
But
woman
anyways,
took offense to that.
when they came onto his show some weeks or months later, that is when he brought it up to and he went in on them straight away, right in the beginning, and they're on his show.
Okay.
So that's another thing. So that was another kind of ambush thing as well, which brings into thing when you're interviewing people, should you really just be ambushing people that you brought into your show to interview? Anyways, Toys R Us R.I.P. I think we're not going to talk about it. We've done the No Children at
My
Wedding.
daughter's upset with that though.
You've told her already.
She heard the news, man. I got her to read the actual article, and she was like, "Oh,
So you took her off.
she
My
always
friend showed
liked to
Argos
go
catalog.
down there, man." No,
Argos catalog is the same thing.
Argos is there, Argos is there.
The same thing.
But it's different. No, you can't walk around. Argos
Yeah, I
like
think it's the experience that she
that.
likes. Man.
Yes.
Oh, Hamleys, isn't it?
That's true.
It's too expensive, bro.
Toys R Us is expensive.
National Geographic have admitted that they have a history of racism in their magazine.
I've never ever read the magazine, you know.
But
Stay on the channel, but I've never ever read the magazine.
What's the next one?
your Katy Perry kiss harassment.
I like that
I want
one.
to talk about that one actually.
So
I like that
she was a one of the judges in one of these American Idol. Hold on, get ready. I'm just giving this brief thing and then we move on.
Come on.
The one that came on to display his skills playing the piano. I mean, guitar.
and singing.
Once he had finished, I don't know why, for some reason, because I didn't listen to the whole thing, but he went to kiss her on the cheek, where she was showing
turned her face.
When he went to kiss her on the cheek, she turned her so that it was a kiss on the mouth. He then wanted to say he's never kissed anybody before. He's never been in a relationship.
No, he told her that.
He told her before.
beforehand.
Oh, he told her
That's the
before?
point. He said that he has never kissed a woman and he's waiting for the right woman
He said that
to
before.
kiss
Yeah,
somebody.
he said it before.
And that is why she took the piss
Very
and went
culture.
to sexually assault him
The game's
on
the
the
game.
television.
Next
game's
one.
the game.
Go on.
Well, it wasn't sexual assault, but she kissed him and it was wrong.
No,
And if
it
a
was-
man did that,
it was
if a man did that,
She
it would be
Weinsteined
on
him.
top.
She Weinsteined him.
We got Arsenal player Nathan Miles and his homeless mother.
Niles.
Whatever his name is, man.
You should know your Arsenal players. That's disgraceful. Go on, Kevin.
True. I'm a disgraceful fan. Oh,
But there's so many. How many more you got left?
2. All right. These last 2 are connected. They're both schools where some racial stuff has happened, and so one of them was a black boy was tied to a lamppost and whipped at school in a mock slave auction by white teenagers, and none of them got suspended, or they got suspended and brought back. Because the headmaster suspended them, but then the the governing board said no, and brought them back. And then the other one is it's at the Montfort University.
Montfort University, DMU.
And
that's in Leicester, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was a lady who is a student there. She complained about racial abuse. And then I think a few days later
they suspended her.
They suspended her because apparently there was a clap. But the people complained that she had done some sort of verbal abuse on them.
Apparently, they were saying stuff
that's
about...
not even what they said that they suspended her due to safety fears. Yeah. Basically, it was in her interest for them to suspend her.
What I read was that she was accused of doing something herself.
Also, but they also said that potentially, because of the clapback from other black people, they were worried that the other 2 white girls were also going to be attacked, and she threatened them that these blacks are coming for them.
So why didn't they suspend the 2 white girls?
They suspended 2 white girls, and then they did their white tears, innit? You know white tears already. So then they did their white tears, and then they didn't suspend the black girl as well. But what topics are we going for?
I say Katy Perry and this
that's some really good topics.
University one.
I'll keep going.
Hold on, can we just take a vote then? I was gonna let the guests choose, but you guys are savages. So you say Katy Perry. Pick 1, not 2.
Katy Perry.
Simple.
It's female sexual assault.
I'll take the majority, whatever comes out of the majority.
This is making it long, man.
Whatever, I don't mind.
Let the guest choose. Go on.
I was gonna go for that Vasquez cat beating the snot out of his.
You said yes.
Shorty.
So you do have a preference?
No. You know what?
Any girl business.
It's not girl business.
How about you, Tops?
You choose the meal.
I have decision.
Let Tops.
I would have said the Montfort University one.
I would have said the Montfort and these in the Merrill. I think we should just try and go through them. Come on, couple.
Do you guys need to go home soon?
No, it's fine.
I'm good.
Let's go.
All right, so let's start off with these 2 then, and then we'll see how that goes, and we'll come to yours. So the Katy Perry business. In fact, ladies first. DMU. Yes.
He didn't want Katy Perry.
Sorry, no, you wanted
Vasquez.
Yeah, but okay, we'll start with ladies first.
What DMU one?
DMU.
To put a timer on it, man, and watch it.
All right, cool. We got 5 minutes.
Okay, I think with the DMU situation, I think it's just very simple, very clear. It's just very in line with the way this country generally deals with race.
The world.
And the world, I would say. But specifically with the Brits, I feel like there's always a reluctance in this country to even admit or acknowledge that we have a race problem. It's very easy to kind of throw that over to America.
You say specifically, do other countries admit they have? Are they happy to admit? Oh,
America knows they got a race problem.
No, but America, they know they do. They do. It's very obvious. The thing is, with the UK, I feel like when I say that, I feel that with the UK, racism and that kind of thing is subtle. Like, and that's what we've sort of lived with. It's like, the microaggressions and the subtle, like, they're very uncomfortable with race here in the UK.
I've never experienced this before.
Okay. They like to pretend like racism doesn't exist.
They don't exactly. Like, that's how we are in the UK. We like to pretend it doesn't exist. Say something?
Joe, you've got all the facial expressions, and Tubbs, you got all the hand movements. So I'm just want to just.
Is that why you're wasting the 5 minutes for?
Yeah, exactly. I'm on a timer. So when I heard this, I was like, I'm not surprised, because this is how they like to behave. Rather than tackle the issue head on and be like, do you know what? We're going to send a strong message and be like, this is unacceptable, and suspend the 2 white students. But of course they wouldn't, because they're 2 white women, and this country is very good at protecting white women. So rather than tackle that issue, what we do, we demonize the victim. It's easier to do that. And that's what they've done. They've suspended the black student, the student who's actually gone through something.
She probably did something wrong, isn't it? She's an angry black woman.
Well, that's the narrative that they like to go with. That these blacks are gonna come up in arms and cause a ruckus.
I bet she got natural hair.
Do you know what my problem was with this situation? Yeah, this lady had been complaining to them for ages before they actually did anything. The reason why they actually started to kick off is because she recorded, I think, some of the racial abuse.
Yeah,
I think,
it went
and
viral.
put it on Twitter and made it go viral.
Oh, is this
And
that same woman?
No, that's a different university, isn't it?
No, just the Montfort one did the same.
Was it
thing.
the
No. I'm not talking about the one where they're calling the N-word outside the window.
Right.
She also came. So maybe she didn't make a video, but she came to Twitter and complained about it on Twitter, and then everybody
Are
from
there
Twitter.
two separate
Where-
ones?
We're mixing
there's another
two.
one. No. She came on Twitter. She came on
okay.
Twitter. and
One's
she-
in Nottingham and
She
one's in
complained
Leicester.
about it.
That's
She
what I'm
complained
saying.
about it on
Nottingham.
Yeah.
and Twitter and said, "Look, these people have been racially abused." And the reason why I know this is because one of my friends used to go to that university, and he was tweeting the university saying, "Are you not seeing what this girl was saying that's happened to her at our uni? Are you not paying attention to it?"
They have
So
tweeted today.
Yeah, so this
Friday.
is today, but I'm talking about this happened weeks ago, where she tweeted about the fact that she was having this
Well,
abuse.
she's black.
So in the end, they just ignored it until it became a big deal. Then suddenly they decided they wanted to suspend the white students. But yes, as you said, they didn't have to level it up because obviously those students' parents probably came in and said, "Well, why is my child being suspended? What happened to the black girl that said something to them that they felt threatened? That's why they called her the N-word or whatever they did to her."
Can someone tell me the difference between the two incidences? I know of the one where the girl has recorded the thing and she was even on.
Yeah, from my
this-
knowledge, that's
this
a different
morning.
incident because she
Okay.
then went, like you said, she then went on This Morning and spoke about it. That was a completely different. That's a different situation.
Those are
And
boys
then-
as well, innit?
And then this,
Yeah,
that's
those
what I
are
was
boys,
thinking.
and then they were literally outside her room, and they were shouting all sorts of rubbish and Brexit and all these other things. And
We
we
hate the
hate the
blacks.
blacks.
And then this new one.
And then this is the Montfort University.
That's that good quality
Okay.
racism, boy.
So this is two separate incidents.
And what happened at
first,
the De Montfort University?
The De Montfort one, they have now suspended the black
Thoroughbred
student.
racism.
The other university, I think it was Nottingham. I can't remember the other
I think it's
university.
Nottingham, but go on.
But what they've done is those two men have they were actually arrested by the police.
So what did the girls do? The two white girls.
I can't remember what they actually did, but they was being
Or what did they
racist.
say?
Okay,
racist.
let me-
And there's no recording or.
As far as I'm aware, there's no recording of the De Montfort one, but the
Okay.
other one, she recorded it, and the two men were actually arrested, and the university actually suspended them.
I mean,
I don't know if they've been expelled,
Yeah.
but then she then went on This Morning and spoke about it.
I'm with. I think it was Wahala was speaking. No, I think it was you was speaking on it. I'm not surprised. This is the system and the world that we live in. Unfortunately, we as black people will always have to go through this, and our children will have to go through it as well. And I said in a previous podcast, is that racism will always exist.
Will we have to go through it? Always.
Yes,
Do we?
100%. We can fight against it, and we can, make a stand and what have you. But we're always gonna go
Or
through
we
it,
can fuck off home.
They'll still be
and
racist
it'll
at
still
your
be
home.
there as well.
They'll be racist to you at your own home.
You mean colorism?
Apparently they were
I said
friends.
the whites will find themselves there to be racist to you at your own home.
I'm all for a Black Panther movement.
What's that?
And
What,
I mean
Wakanda
an
or-
original Black Panther movement, because there was this talk about
When you say original, you know that the Black Panther film was out before the Black Panther Party. Yeah?
okay, no, well I'm
We are
talking about
living in
I'm
the
talking
time
about
of
the actual
Wakanda.
party itself and their stand against these kind of things, because that whole
Be
time
classed as a hate
during
group now.
this time during the civil rights movement, Malcolm X and what have you, there's talk about people going to the university and
Okay,
and protesting, and I think in today's society we don't do those kind of things enough. And a
We
protest,
do, but we don't do it for blacks.
and a protest doesn't have to be a violent one. But I'm all for a little bit of violence.
Okay, so
I am
Anybody else?
because sometimes these people, they think that they can just do these things and get away with it.
they can.
Exactly. So I don't mind a little bit of violence when it
We're
comes
now
to that.
going to take the power.
Because if that happened to my niece, I know what my cousin is like, and I know what some part of our family is like, and I know some people that I know. If that happened to their family, they're not letting it rest.
Yeah, we hear that.
You get me? So sometimes people, if they don't hear, they must feel.
I'll just go down there and lock down the library. Lock down the library, all the computers. If you just lock it all down. Let's see who's
that's
going to
what I
learn
mean.
today.
All right,
Turn off the Wi-Fi.
Go ahead,
Go on,
bro.
go on.
Joseph, would you like to discuss about the baseball player and his domestic abuse?
This is Mr. Vasquez.
Yes.
Dan,
Don't even call
Danry.
him Mister. Call him by his first name.
Bitch ass.
Prick.
Bitch ass.
listen, you know what? I saw the video and
Oh, sorry. I need to say
Yeah.
what it is, innit?
right, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Yes, it's a baseball player who there's a video of him in a university. So they played a game or whatever, anyways, and it is CCTV of him in the stairs, keeps slapping his then girlfriend,
Backhanding her.
backhanding her down the stairs, pulling her out by her hair. She's wearing glasses. He keeps putting the glasses back on her, and then wash and repeat. He would do the same thing again, pick her up, put the glasses back on her face. I don't think she pressed charges. I think they found this out during CCTV. It's just coming to the news now because the whole case has been closed and the police have released the CCTV footage. But she didn't want to press charges. I think now, I know in this country, I'm not sure what it's like in
Why
America.
did they release the CCTV
because
now?
Because I just said because the case is finished now. They can.
They released it. They released it.
It's
Innit?
strange.
I
I wonder if they'll do that to a white couple.
Because it can become public knowledge after the case is closed.
I was disgusted when I saw that video.
So yes.
That's it, man.
What was I saying? Anyway,
He beat the woman. That's all we need to know.
yes. Okay. So
Yeah,
we watched the
You
video.
were going to say something about why she didn't press charges or whatever.
I was in this country. I know now you don't in the UK wherever you're listening. You don't. The woman or the man actually doesn't have to press charges or complain as long as they believe there's a reasonable fault that this is happening. They can arrest you and press charges on their own back. Police can do that now. I'm assuming, or I'm hoping that it's the same thing in America because I don't think she pressed any charges up to the point where she didn't actually say, I don't want him to go to jail. He got off with community service or something like that, and now they are engaged to be married. And the video is quite graphic. It's up on our social media if you want to see it, but it's a graphic video. And Joseph couldn't actually watch the whole thing to the end.
I know we had a discussion about one of your pod episodes speaking on domestic violence, domestic abuse and stuff like that. And watching this video where this cat's come through with his girlfriend, his wife, his lady at the time. And before they've got down to the first flight of stairs, he's already gone through her. He's absolutely weighed her in. And he's now doing this weird thing where he's hitting her and her glasses are coming off, but he's helping her put it back on.
Consoling her at the same time.
So I'm slapping you around, but then I'm showing that I still love you by putting the glasses back on. And then they get round to where they're supposed to go down the next flight of stairs, and then he starts beating her butt again. And there's only so much first of all, as a man, there's only so much you can watch of that video before you're just like, I can't watch anymore. But then the guy runs back up, and he's not finished. He runs back up, he runs out, runs back down. This time she's on the floor. He's like dragging her, beating her. And for me, how he's got off lightly is very, 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 very scary. And the way I see it is, for those of us who do have daughters, and there's only so much control you have and so much protection you can offer your daughter, but when she's in a situation like this and she doesn't want to press charges or she doesn't want to fight or do anything, as a man from the outside looking in on this, what can you do?
Plenty.
But she doesn't want.
I don't care
she
what
doesn't
my
want
daughter
to,
wants or what she doesn't want.
Woo! Mr.
Simple.
Wolf,
No,
bitch.
Simple. I don't care
What do you
she
do,
wants.
Mr. Wolf?
I'm going right for the guy, whether she wants it or not.
Okay,
Yeah, I got your
let's say
back,
she
Mr.
goes
Wolf.
back to him.
And that's fine.
She's still going back to him.
And that's fine.
She cannot go back to him.
No, listen. I don't mean that it's fine that I'm okay with
Of
it.
course, she can go back to him.
I mean that if she goes back with him, then she goes back with him. That's his choice.
Bruv,
Hold on, let me finish.
How did
Hold on,
somebody
hold on.
that's dead be able to go back to? Because he's dead.
Right, exactly. So I'm not looking to commit murder, but what I am looking
You
to
should do.
No, listen. What I am because
Well, would you really- would you really
let
murder-
me
murder the
finish,
person?
man.
So, sorry, very quickly. I also want you guys to touch on the psychological aspects of things as well. As and you might want to chime in as a woman, why someone's beating your butt and you still go back to them.
Stockholm
And
syndrome.
that's another completely
I can explain.
separate
Say what you're saying.
situation in itself, because you have women who go through certain issues when they're young and they may feel that it's acceptable for a man to do that. But
It's not even young.
No.
Babies do it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying in
If you beat a
relation
baby, who does
to
it run to straight away?
Yep.
Go on.
yeah, no, but what I'm saying in relation to me and someone that I know, even it doesn't have to be my daughter, someone that I'm really close with. It could be my cousin, it could be my sister. Whether they want me to or not, I don't care what they want me to, because that person needs to be held accountable for their actions. And the next time that they think about doing that, they're going to think about the last time that it happened.
Is your feelings
Do you understand?
above her feelings then?
Yes.
My
Yes.
feeling, yeah. My
And they
feelings,
said yes.
my feelings
That's-
are all about protecting
I got a
the
couple of-
welfare of my family and my daughter. And if somebody feels like it's okay to do that to my daughter, then I feel like at some stage I've kind of failed in myself as a father.
Couple of quick questions then.
As a father.
What if that is gonna now muck up your relationship with this person? This
You're
girl?
my daughter.
Whoever it
I
may
don't
be.
care.
So you,
If-
you
Of course
if-
you care.
No.
You-
No. What I'm saying is that I put my relationship aside to protect my child
okay. So I'm gonna just give you
or my cousin
please try to
or
make it quick.
whatever.
The situation is brought down to you. You know, you've seen it happen. Maybe you saw the video. You're just about to attack the person, and something in your brain stops, and an angel comes down and says, you know, your daughter, your sister, or whoever said, I don't want you to do it. I don't want you to do it. I don't want you to do it. You've pushed her off. They said, time has stopped. If you hit this man now, your relative is no longer gonna. You fractured this relationship with your relative. You might still talk or whatever, but it's never gonna be the same. Or you don't hit the person, and you and this person, and you and your relative is cool, but obviously the person gets away with it.
I think I don't know. I don't think it's a black and white one there. I'm afraid. Look, there could be different variables there. So I could have had discussions with my daughter, and I
I
could
don't know
have.
why you're asking this question. Thinking
That's
it's
what
a
I'm
quick
saying.
answer.
I
It's not a quick
thought you
answer,
could
bro.
pick-
It's not a quick answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For
That,
him.
you know, if
Pick one or the other.
For
innit?
him, it's not a quick answer because he never does that one or the other. You just had a conversation where he didn't do the one or the other. You
That
complain
wasn't-
about that as well. So I don't know why you would do that.
I'm
Okay,
just saying
finish,
that
finish.
there's different. That there could be so many different variables. If I've had discussions and I've had chats with my daughter, if I've had these kind of a kind of relationship with her, and I don't know, man.
It's difficult.
I find it hard.
It's difficult because
It's too
I've kind of
hard, it's too
lived
hard.
through the situation in a funny kind of way. Because one of my cousins, I hate the term baby dad, but her baby
The
father
father of her
or
child.
child was beating her, and I never found out until late. So when I found out now, like obviously, it's not something I'm gonna have in it. So I look to her brother now, Smokey. I look to her brother now, and I'm like, bruv, how comes you ain't doing nothing about it? He says, don't worry, I already want to sort this out. The problem that I have is I can't guarantee that she's not going to go back to him. I said, what, after this? And he said, yeah. And the problem that I have is that not only can I not guarantee that she will go back to him, if you weigh him in bad enough and she goes back to him, then we don't have any we have no transparency on what's happening in that household while he's back there. So me doing what I'm doing to him could actually make it worse for my sister. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So we sat down at the table and I was like, something has to be done though. Something really has to be done. But we were in this kind of like dichotomy where
It's not always that. It's not a straightforward situation.
It never is.
Because what you have in these kind of cases as well is that the person who is the one being the abusive one, generally they want to have an atmosphere where they are isolating that person.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. That the best way to sort of continue this cycle of abuse is to isolate them. And people say, oh, why don't you just leave? Why don't you? It's never that simple. And usually what you find in these kind of cases is that leading up to the first hit, there's been a mental abuse as well. Like you sort of get that person to rely on you, and they sort of like, again, isolate them from friends, from family.
And that's why I said that
you
I
depend on
would have
them.
failed.
But here's
In some cases, you know, as a dad, I feel like I would have failed because I would have, you know, not been able to have a proper open relationship with my daughter.
So here's the crack anyway. So after we've had the conversation, we got her away. She came back to the family home. She was at the family home. I sat down and had a conversation with her. I said to her, you know that this behavior that you're being receiving isn't acceptable behavior. Like, you don't know this. We don't have this in our family where it's something that you've seen as an example. So I don't understand necessarily what your dependency is here, kind of thing. And she couldn't explain to me that she had a dependency or nothing like that. So after the conversation, I said to her, you know, are we at a space now where, you know, you can't go back there? Yeah, he's the father of the child on that, but you can't really go back and go and do that with him. And she's like, no, I'm not going back. I said, are you sure? She's like, yeah, cool. And then about 3 months later, I heard that she'd gone back. So
It's a big difference when you're the father of the child. I think.
Yeah.
It's a big difference.
Tops, continue, please.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these cases, you kind of need to look at it by case basis, but there are obviously some sort of common threads that kind of go through like domestic violence cases. In this situation, I did actually watch the video to the end. I struggled, but I watched it to the end, and it was harrowing just seeing their dynamic. And if you notice, she wasn't shocked, or like if you look at her body language, like it was kind of like she was kind of expecting it.
Yeah, it's normal.
And then like it's normal, and then, you know, he was helping her with her glasses, and she was like, you know, helping him as well put the glasses on, and she was fixing herself. So it's obviously something that she's been used to and she's been accustomed to, and you kind of wonder like what goes on behind closed doors. If he's doing this in public, granted they maybe didn't realize they were being filmed, but you know, this is a public place and they're doing it. For me, you need to also take into account like he's also what is he, a baseball player, basketball player? There's also that element as well. Is like, is there a lifestyle that she doesn't want to give up? Maybe that she sort of feels like that this is kind of like a trade-off. I don't know. There are just so many different elements to it, and not everything is always going to be as clear cut as, oh, you should just leave.
I don't want to say I disagree, but you know, the way I see it is you know, if someone is abusive to you, and we're talking physical abuse to where they are literally slapping you around, right, separating you from your senses, and it's something that's happening time and time again, where you're walking on eggshells, you can't breathe the wrong way. If you breathe the wrong way, or you look the wrong way, or you do anything that's not right, you're getting beaten. I don't understand why everything within you doesn't just get up and run away from that situation.
It's a lot to do with their background and their upbringing.
It's not necessarily to
No,
do
but
with
I
the
don't think it's just
background.
that as well.
It's got to do with the fact that at this moment in time, you either love that person, one, because that love is a strong thing, you know, and it can overcome some foolishness. Two, some people themselves have their own issues, mental issues.
And we're not even talking about that. You know, that's stuff we were talking about. We're not even talking about a shake or
I'm talking about beating. Yeah, but it could be mental issues as well. You can, and that person that you're beating may have their own. They're depressed, and depressed people can sit in a place and just be depressed forever.
The way I console it with myself, during slavery, not all slaves wanted to leave. Not all slaves had the guts and the spirit.
But they've been broken.
Is that the fear of the unknown? Like, as in,
there's a
if I
common.
leave
Yes,
that,
yes,
that.
there is that.
The fear of the unknown.
Yeah,
They're broken.
Who wants me? If somebody beats you down enough to tell you that you are worthless, yeah, you are worthless. You are worthless. You are worthless. Every day you are worthless. You are worthless. No one else is going to want you. You start believing that, and then eventually, you think to yourself, well, if I leave this person, who else is going to want me?
Rhetoric is the father of learning. Bro.
That's mental and emotional abuse. And the thing is, we don't know, like what Wala said, what's the mental makeup of the abuser and the mental makeup of the person being abused. Because you could be abused, be an abusive person in a relationship, and the person you're abusing is happy to be abused. That's the love that they're getting. That's the only thing that they're getting. And on the flip side, you could be that person that's abusing and telling the person, like what Wahala said, no one's going to love you, no one's going to take care of you, no one's going to need you, you're worthless, you're this, that and the other. And that person believes it. And they can't escape it.
Self-esteem is a big thing, man.
It's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Whose
big
job
thing.
is it to build self-esteem?
Self.
Just yourself.
It's the seam of
Just
your goddamn self.
Yes.
As Cat Williams said.
I don't think self-esteem is just yourself.
No, neither do I.
I think our self-esteem is made up of a few things, I think, especially if we're talking about like it's from young with your children. I think it's really important that why do we always say to our kids that we need to like say positive things in their life? We've got to tell them we love them,
What, like
they're
the people
beautiful.
around you
Like
as well.
telling them they can't come to weddings,
Yeah, okay.
destroying their self-esteem.
No.
Nobody loves you. You
No,
can't
the
come to
point
wedding.
is self-esteem
Mummy
is
and
not
daddy
just
are going.
Tops doesn't love you.
Well,
self-esteem is not just about yourself. It is. Well, according to myself and Topsy, it's not just
No,
about
it
yourself.
is. What she's saying is that it can be.
It's a part, and it can be. So if it can be, then therefore it's
no.
not just about
You're
yourself, innit?
okay. Let's move away from that. Let's look at it from this point of view. Motivation. Motivation is a thing that you have. You can be inspired by
Self-motivation.
You can be inspired by external influences, but ultimately you have to get up and do the
gotta get up and
thing.
go.
It's exactly the same with self-esteem.
It does say it does say self in the title. It's kind of self.
And the thing is
not
a lot.
necessarily.
but I think your self-esteem is built by, I think, certain like different factors. I don't think we can say that.
And different people.
Somebody who doesn't feel like they're beautiful, you think they're just going to suddenly wake up one day and think I'm beautiful, like, or be confident. Like these things are things that have to be built over time. You have to nurture it. Like even the most confident of people have their off days. Do you know what I mean? It's something that you have to constantly work at, and something that you have to constantly be aware of. And some people can do it better than others. And a lot of us, we get our confidence or whatever because we are a product of our environment. And if you're somebody who grew up in an environment who were constantly put down, you're more likely to not have as high self-esteem as somebody who grew up in an
Not
environment.
necessarily.
Yeah, but
It's about the individual, because I understand what
So
you're
if
saying.
you grew up in an environment where you were constantly put down and you were never encouraged, as opposed to somebody who was brought up in an environment where they were
External
constantly
factors.
praised, I think you're more likely to have better self-esteem if you were raised in an environment where you were always praised, or where it was positivity, like you were encouraged.
Those are contributory factors. I'm not outlining them at all. But if what you're saying is 100% true, then we wouldn't have people that came out of the ghetto and became whatever they have.
Of course,
Yeah,
not.
but
It's a
out of the million people that's in the ghetto,
We wouldn't have Tiffany Haddish.
yeah,
and
but
all them
out
kind
of the
people.
million, how many percentage go clear?
I didn't say that it's not true. I didn't say that it's not a contributory factor. I'm saying that ultimately it's still your self-esteem.
No, you're right. I agree. It's what I'm saying is a contributing factor. I'm not saying that straight bang, like, oh, if you grew up in the ghetto, then that's it. Life is you're never gonna have the self-confidence, or you're never gonna be able to pick yourself up. Like, I'm not saying that, but a lot of the time, people that manage to pick themselves up out of a bad situation need to have some sort of encouragement from somewhere.
And living in ghetto doesn't mean that you don't get encouragement. You just get encouragement in the ghetto.
I think Simple. So I'm going to close it up. I'm sorry if that's being rude, but I think Simple Simon is saying that each individual person has their own way of dealing with things, their own facets and different things. So for one person, maybe being in a situation that you spoke of, Tops, where they're continually being put down, might break them, and then it might need somebody else, a different situation or a different family or a different partner to build them back up again or whatever, or to assist them building themselves back up, because I still think it's an internal thing. But the other person, that negative enforcement is actually what builds them up. So like I was telling my missus just today, unless I'm under pressure, I just don't do things. I'm just too laid back. So I needed to do something for her, and today was the last day I could do it. I ain't done nothing for months. Today I did it in my break at work in 2 hours because I had to do it. So that's, some people are just in that situation. That is their motivation. I have to do it. There is no other option. Comfort doesn't work for them. Right. Wahala, your last topic.
Okay, so that's a D's in the mirror, isn't it?
You said two things, but
Katy Perry or D's in the mirror,
yes,
innit?
you pick
Katy
one.
Perry, man.
Katy Perry.
I like the
I like D's in the
Mirror.
mirror as well. Let's just
I
do
know-
both, but let's do Katy Perry
I
first.
know
Go on
nothing
then,
about
All right, so
her.
Katy Perry, basically what happened was Katy Perry was on Factor. What's the thing, man? Pop
American
Factor.
Idol.
Pop Factor, boy.
Is it American Idol?
I'm such an acronym.
Yes, American
Pop
Idol.
Factor. Anyway, yeah, American Idol. She was on that, yeah. And there was a guy that came on and he came with his guitar, Wyclef style, and he was basically singing. And he said at one point, I'm assuming because she's the one that said you kiss a girl and I liked it, innit? She did that song.
Yes, she did.
So I'm assuming that's probably why it came up in the first place. But
Yeah.
he said, I have never kissed a woman before, or not in the lips anyway, like a proper kiss.
In the mouth.
Yes, in the mouth.
Yes,
as we like to say,
not on the mouth,
in the mouth.
in the mouth.
So he said, I've never done it, and I'm saving myself for a woman that I love. Now, I can
You touch your chest again.
Hello.
Yeah, he called him a bitch ass. But
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
So you said no sex before marriage?
no. If you said no sex before marriage, I can even say that's cool. He said no kissing before the woman that I want to meet for the rest of my
He
life.
said,
No,
yeah,
he
because he
wants-
said he wanted to be special.
He
wanted
wants
to-
to save his first kiss for
Oh, he really is. He really is special.
Nah,
You
man.
got
Nah, you can't
problems,
say
bro.
that, man.
Nah, man.
Everyone's different.
I can't remember my
If
first
that's
kiss
what he
properly,
wants
though.
to do, then just
That's
let
how
it be.
I- and it's-
Honestly, I thought it was
You get
really
me?
sweet.
Okay, it's really sweet, but
It's really sweet.
It
You
was
wouldn't want to
stolen.
be with a man like that.
He's a
Man, like
dickhead.
what?
if this man, your husband, told
Told
you,
you.
I was waiting.
Listen.
You would have backed out immediately.
See,
This
man
date
are
is
savage,
over.
you
You
know.
cannot
Yeah.
tell me that.
Funke, call
savage,
me,
you know.
call me
Wait,
and pretend
no.
that you're my mum because I need to get out.
Let
of
me
this
say this,
Go on,
and I
let
can
me
tell
hear
you
this.
I'll tell you this for free.
Get
right?
him.
There's an exclusive
Get
just for
him.
this pod. Don't let her fool you. Right? You see this young lady here, savage from day.
No, I
right?
think
She
that
looks very
is
innocent.
sweet.
Yo, I've taken off. Let me land.
I think
okay?
it's sweet.
She's saying she thinks it's sweet. That's only now because the savageness has been stripped from her by yours truly.
Bit by bit.
If a guy came to speak to this young lady here at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and said, and tried to speak to her or whatever, and this topic of this came up and he said that, I guarantee you she would ignore him, and the next day if he came up to speak to her, she would completely blank him. That's the way she
No,
is.
you can't compare 18-year-old me to now me being at 31. I was
I'm not
childish
finished.
at
I'm
that
not
age.
finished, madam. I'm not
She
finished. I'm not
ready.
finished. So when she's saying all this, oh, it's sweet. Listen, no girl is on that thing. I don't, unless you're Mormon or
Yes.
unless you're a Quaker or whatever, and you're all this. I'm not kissing till I want to be special. No,
It's not
don't
happening.
fall for it. It's
And
not
even
happening.
then, they
She's not
still
falling
want
for
they
it.
still want a man that's tried. But he do, it's true. They want someone that's tried to kiss a woman at least. But with this situation, what happened was this fool. I don't know why I'm even cussing the man now, but he basically
Leave the poor boy alone. We're trying to get to a serious topic.
Oh, is he like 16?
no, he's a big man. That's what I'm saying.
No,
man.
he's 19. He was 19.
He's a big man.
He's
Well, anyway,
19.
so he went to go and
Teenager.
he went to go and shake hands with the cast, and then he went to go and kiss Katy Perry on the cheek, as a gentleman would do. And this dirty woman,
She stuck out her face to be
yeah,
kisses
this
like she was.
dirty bastard, went to then
She's a wench.
went to then turn her mouth to kiss him full on the
Slag.
lips.
Whore. Slut.
Calm down.
If it's a man,
Harlot.
this is the thing. Because, yes, harlot, all of it.
They're really gonna pam you guys.
Yeah,
but
but he
Go on,
can't-
Mr.
of-
Wolf, say
No,
it.
She's,
I'm sorry.
She's a whore of Babylon.
No,
Go on,
whoa,
Mr.
whoa.
Wolf, say it.
So no,
But,
I'm,
but
I'm
hold on, let me finish because I haven't even explained what happened.
yeah,
so
yeah.
then
Babylonian
he turned
whore.
his head, and when he went to kiss on the cheek, she turned her face and kissed him in the mouth on purpose.
The most pale of Babylonian whores.
So
and then his reaction.
was he almost dropped to the floor.
did he die?
He almost dropped to the floor, and then he said to her, like, why would you do that? I didn't, he didn't like it, basically.
Yeah, that bit at the end.
So
where
he didn't like the
when
kiss
he
at
fully
all.
Said, I was like, why? Like,
Why
I
would
was
you do
saving
that?
myself.
I was
That
saving. I
like,
was
oh,
saving
man.
myself.
Even I felt bad.
She
See,
took
even
his
giggling
virginity.
Huh?
She took his virginity.
She took his oral virginity.
his oral virginity.
Oh, right.
She kissed him and he turned into a frog.
No, but see, no, but
He's
all
not-
jokes aside, right? Because the thing is, there is definitely a double standard. Because even the way we're talking about it now, where
laughing at, man.
we are trivializing
It's
it,
banned.
No.
so there is a double standard.
No,
because
I'm dead serious. She should get beat up for that.
Wow.
I don't think she should get beat up.
When I say
if it's a
beat-
man
when I say
did that
beat-
to a woman, would you
when I
get-
say
you
beat
get
up, I
beat
don't
up?
mean
But,
physically.
no, but
I mean,
even just us discussing it, like even before we even got to what it was, we're laughing at the fact that he wanted to keep his kiss.
Speak for yourself.
his
None of us
relationship.
men were laughing. It was just
You
you
were
there
all
recording.
smiling and laughing and not taking the guy seriously. And the thing is, it's like what she did to me was appalling. I
was.
think at the end of the day, it's about respecting people's wishes. And who are you? Like, how can you impose yourself like that onto someone?
It is that the same privilege that we were talking about with the white girls that did the foolishness and thought that it's okay and they will get in trouble and the black girl get in trouble. That's why she did it. Because
Well,
she
yeah,
thought
Katy Perry-
it's the white girl privilege.
It is the white lady privilege.
It's
they can do
nothing
all.
to do with her color.
It's
a woman privilege.
she should
It
get.
is a
Well,
woman
yeah.
privilege.
She
Okay,
should get-
I don't
let's
think
just.
a black woman thinks she can get away with that.
She
on
should
TV.
get beat up in the press for that. She should get beat up in the press.
Well,
for
I
that.
would like to think that a black woman would know better, but you're right. Let's just talk about
So,
man and woman.
You're saying black people know better than white people?
Yes, carry on.
Yeah, we do. But let's just keep it as man and woman. Like, let's say the roles were reversed. Because the guy was, 19, and she's, in her 30s.
She's
Cougar.
yeah.
Let's just say that this was a 30-year-old man and a 19-year-old girl, and she stood there and said, I'm saving my first kiss for my
God.
husband
They
or
would've-
whatever.
When
They
she
would have
said it like
pammed
that,
him to hell and
The,
high water.
the outrage,
They would've got him
and
straight
rightly
out
so, the outrage would have been astronomical, and that's correct.
His career's over.
And the thing is, it's like,
Done.
for me, it's not about saying whether,
Imagine if it was R.
whether it's a
Kelly.
man or a woman, it's wrong. She shouldn't have done
And
that.
this is Me Too, This is in the Me Too era that she did this. No long thing, and she did it with a smile on her face. Now
and
people on the internet are going out though.
and she still hasn't addressed it up until now. She has
Yeah,
not
but
said anything.
she won't receive any retribution for it in the Me Too era because she's a woman, and all the Me Too stuff has happened to women. So a woman going back.
No, Terry Crews.
All right, but
Yeah,
a
but his
woman
accuser
giving-
is walking free.
Yeah, but a woman giving back.
That's the gay community.
It's
You
like,
can't beat them.
It's cool, man. Don't worry about it.
You can't beat the gay community when it comes to these type of things. You can't.
So if there's a celebrity matchup, the Jews versus the gays, who wins?
Ooh.
The Jews
What
always
was the
win.
question?
I'd like to say the view shared by
I'm not even involved in this one, boy.
The Jews will win. Easy.
A gay Jew would win. That's like the ultimate thing you can't attack at the moment in time.
That's like the
A gay
superpower.
transsexual Jew.
That's like a superpower.
I
Isn't
was
it?
only joking. Can we just get back to the Katy, whatever?
Carrie-
But yeah,
Slut whore,
for me, I just think it's atrocious. I blatantly think that it's assault in its own way, strange way, shape or form. Whether or not she's going to get attacked for it, I've seen her get attacked on Twitter, but that's a Twitter attack, isn't it? That's not really the big deal. But are the people actually going to like? Is she gonna be on what did that call this thing again?
TMZ,
American
all them
Idol.
too.
American Idol. Is she gonna be back on the show again next week?
Of
American
course.
factor.
Are they gonna remove her because of what she's done?
No way.
So if he was a man, he would have been removed. He would no longer be on that show. When you described it, Tops, and you said it like a 30-year-old man kissing a 19-year-old girl, when you said it to me like that, my heart was like, my God.
Listen.
Of course.
But the other way around,
Of course,
She
everybody
basically
would have his head.
Harvey Weinstein, the man.
it's a bit like when
It's the
when
same
boys get when the young boys have sex with like the older women, and it's like paedophilia or whatever, and people just say, well, you should be happy about it. People are killing it now.
It's the double standard.
The thing is
It's
now,
the double
will
standard.
that bring up the ratings of the show? Will that help in this gentleman's success? Will he
Oh,
become...
he's gonna get girls now. So he better looking for the one now because he's
So
gonna
Katy
get girls
Perry
all
might
over him.
turn around and said, I made your career.
She could say that,
I
but so could Weinstein.
I think this is really dangerous only because right now it's really hard. This is probably one of the most difficult times to be a guy right now. Everything we do is being scrutinized.
Oh, it is. It's scrutinized. It's under the
Everything we do is
microscope.
being scrutinized. You do this, you're getting pammed for it. You do that, you're being pammed for it. You call a woman, you say woman or female, you get pammed for it. It's like there's so many things going on that as a guy you get ruined for. So what we have to do is make sure there's some sort of a balance where when women mess up, you've got to really give it
There
to
will
them.
never be a balance.
I don't know about really give it to them,
But
because
that's what they're
really
fighting
giving
for.
it to
Right
men
now,
all the
they're
time.
fighting for that balance. They're fighting for that equality
But
at
they
level
won't,
playing
because
field.
even while you was making your statement, your wife just went, "Oh, boo-hoo."
Yeah, of course she did. Of course she did. And,
That
and that's
can't.
because she's a feminist. And that's fine. I don't mind that.
Are you a feminist?
I have never
Who, me?
said.
Yeah.
I have never said I'm a
So I
feminist.
can't be a
I don't-
feminist. It's impossible. I'm from Ibadan, Nigeria. I can't be a feminist. I'm a man from Ibadan, Nigeria.
I'm from Ibadan. We
That-
don't do
that-
feminism.
feminists, there's no such thing. I was speaking to my dad about that feminist stuff. He was like, Babe, forget about all that stuff. Don't worry
Sit
about that
down
stuff.
with
Let
that
them
nonsense
let them
there.
to sort that out. But my point is, there needs to be some sort of a balance where, if you this whole have your cake and eat it too era that we're in, where no one wants any sort of accountability, and where women are talking about men having that accountability, but when they mess up, it's just pushed aside
I
as
hear you.
Yeah.
And women
And
have to
they'll
call
cry
out
them
other
tears.
women.
They'll cry them crocodile
Yeah,
tears.
And-
yeah,
and if we- that's
what
Katy
I'm
Perry
saying.
was
now,
wrong.
Now, can you
100%.
imagine if us males started running off with that? Oh, all women are trash. Maybe we should start doing that. All women
Oh, I
are
don't
trash.
wanna
We start
get into
doing
that.
that.
I'm not involved.
Yeah, see,
I had
but
such a big
oh,
discussion
yeah.
with that yesterday.
See,
bro.
but these are the things I'm saying.
No,
It's
but we
like,
have been saying that
there's
women are
gotta be-
trash in their own ways, in strange ways, for a long period of time. And I was saying last week, I don't agree with because one side's doing something bad, you should do the same thing that's bad. You should look for a better solution than both calling each other trash. It's a nonsense.
I mean, for me, that whole all men, it's all bents. But do you know?
It's not all bants,
It's not
but it's
bants,
just
bro.
not something that we should get into now because it's too deep.
I just think honestly, when this is assault. This is
It's sexual
if
assault.
a man pinched a girl's butt, it's sexual assault. Okay, how much more a woman forcing a kiss on another guy or unsuspecting
In the
guy?
public domain.
What's that called?
You know what the problem here is though?
Let's
she
let's
wasn't-
have
she
that
wasn't
same
getting-
energy.
Can I ask a
It's a
question?
great day
Can I
for
ask a
him. That's
question?
what it
Go on,
is.
go on.
It's not
Is the
assault.
reason why like men and whatever are going so hard at the outrage because they know if the roles were reversed, it would be different. Do you really care that much
About this guy?
No,
the
it's
question
like,
is the question is yes. Sorry, the answer is yes.
because
Yes,
the
we
thing is,
care.
it's like a lot of the time when I see these discussions, like men are having these discussions only because they know that if roles were reversed, it'd be worse. So we have to make
But
sure.
how
we
dare
give it
you?
to
How
them.
dare you kiss
But
me
really-
without my
But really,
my consent?
a lot of men will be like, "Well, Katy Perry kissed you. What's your problem?"
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. If this man had never mentioned any of this
First kiss stuff.
business and the Katy Perry kissed him, I wouldn't even care. I wouldn't even care. I'll be like, just shut up your mouth, blah 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 blah.
But he stipulated his.
Because she took something from him, And that's my problem.
And she knew she was taking it from
Yeah.
him.
Because I'm saying, 'cause I want everyone's outrage to be genuine.
Yeah,
I don't want
she
your
took
outrage just to
something
simply
from
be
him.
because you know that if roles were reversed, it would be different. Like, let your outrage be genuine. Like, do you genuinely really care that this has happened, or is it only because you know that had Katy Perry been a man and the guy been a girl, it would be different?
No.
I think irrespective of the circumstances, if you was in that setting, forget the fact that he said I've never kissed anybody before. If Katy Perry just went up and kissed him, you're still violating him.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, but I
Nobody asked you to
just
kiss me.
wouldn't care.
All right.
As me, I just wouldn't care.
Simple.
Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say quickly what you can with the reason why I feel the way I feel about this case is because it is in the purest sense against his consent.
Yeah.
In the purest sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Non-consensual.
He told her, I don't want to do it.
Okay. Simple had the last word.
Okay.
And now, Wahala, you have the first word. And the last topic, the goddamn last topic.
These are Mary, yeah?
These are man.
All right, so DJ Envy and his wife, I believe, they have a podcast. I forget what the podcast name is called.
Doesn't matter.
But they know of the wife because that's how people know of him and his wife because they do a podcast
I
together.
think it's the Casey crew or something strange like that.
Yeah.
Exceptionally beige.
No. They call this beige rage. That's what they call this thing, beige rage.
Yeah.
But so basically what happened was DJ Envy went on to a show called These Are Mero.
No, it was on The View.
Was it on The View?
Let me explain it.
But I don't know all of the background now. I just know what happened on the show.
DJ Envy is married to a woman, and I don't know her name. Forgive me. Do anyone know her name?
Carol.
Woman.
I don't remember
Sorry?
her name.
Woman.
Carol.
Carol, the woman.
Is it Carol?
He cheated on her. It got made public knowledge. I believe after this they got the podcast, and he went on, I think, some sort of apology tour where they were going around shows and he was apologizing in public, and they were discussing their relationships and how they overcame X, Y, and Z. Now, Jesus and Mero are podcasters and vloggers and people on that have a show, and it's similar, I guess, in kind of like to us. They talk about what's going on in their world and what's going on in topics. Now, there's sometimes where they watch videos and they discuss what's going on in the video, like you see on YouTube at the time. Now, in this one, DJ Envy and his wife were on The View. They were sitting down, they were talking about things, and I actually have the video because it's such a short clip. Let me just play it, and then we can just discuss it without all the hibbity habbity. Let me get to it. All right. In the meantime, is everybody cool? Are you putting this on social media? Did I say you could put me on social media?
Yeah, you're out there now.
Oh, duh.
It's all over, Jackie.
I haven't started yet. I'm waiting for you to get
It's
to
all
the
over.
We owe your wife an apology. What do we do?
When you insinuated that she was there for the check on your show. Yes, she did. When you said she was there for the check. That's what you said exactly. I heard it.
And so you
I have
feel...
the clip right now. Yeah, you owe her.
Right, let's hear the clip.
Hold on, you.
We got the clip on
been
deck?
with me since 15.
All right, let's hear the clip.
Hold on, I'm talking. Since 15.
He's
Before I had
puffing
a
up
dollar.
his chest.
She
Okay.
was making more money than me. So to insinuate that she was there for a check or she's good with Envy's check is a disrespect to me.
Okay, can I hear the clip?
You said
You don't remember what he does drink Bex for
You said-
breakfast.
no,
He
you
doesn't
said
know.
he
No, we
said-
do 4 shows a week. Yeah,
you
seriously.
said it on air. You said it on air.
All right, hold on. Well, let's hear it.
Like I was Rashawn at home, but in the streets I was DJ Envy. So it was two different people. And,
I didn't know DJ Envy.
Right. And
Got
it
it.
was a
Well,
situation.
you know them DJ Envy checks though. What?
You know them DJ Envy checks, though. That's a little disrespectful, brother.
That was a joke, Envy.
I don't
For
take
real?
that joke when you talk about my wife.
All right, I apologize then.
You see what I'm saying? You can talk about me all day. You can
All
make
right.
jokes to me, but when it comes about my wife and my family, it's a little disrespectful.
Envy would never do another joke
You
about
should
you.
know that. Because you
No,
got
I
kids
feel
and a
you.
wife.
No, I feel you. I hear that. But you know what I'm saying? At the end
But
of the day,
there is no but.
no, there has to be.
There
There
is
has to be.
no but when it comes to wife and kids. There is no but.
Okay. And then he carries on for a longer period of time, saying you can't come from my wife and
then he
kids.
walks out.
Yep. Eventually walks out.
Man. That's deep.
All right.
Of
So
his own show.
okay. So go on then. You wanted to talk about it, Wala?
Okay, so I wanted to get on it because you said you had something to say. Because you're Mr. Don't ever talk about my wife. Don't talk about my wife.
Okay,
you're a king of don't talk about my wife.
Something happened recently, which was a similar kind of thing, where I said something on a podcast, and somebody from another podcast actually had an issue with what I said, and they sent a voice note to my brother.
I wasn't even talking about that one. But
That-
anyway,
this is what I'm talking
that's
about,
another one
because-
of don't talk about my wife. That's
Yes.
two you got don't talk about my wife.
What's the other one?
The Griff one? Don't talk about my wife. Go on.
It was the same subject, wasn't it?
No, different subject.
Okay, well, all right. Irrespective, my wife's been on this podcast, so you could say that I've put her out there, because some people are saying if you put your wife in the public eye, then she herself becomes her own,
fair game or something.
Yeah. So it's not
Public
it's not about your wife. If your wife was behind the scenes, then by all means. But your wife is not behind the scenes. She's on the seat right next to you. So the same way I can cuss you, I can cuss her. But anyways, I mentioned stuff about weave and straight hair because I don't like weave and straight hair. I don't. I'm quite very. Not only am I dismissive of it, I'm quite insulting of it. I insult it. So there are people in this room now.
Okay, patting it, boy, patting it down as well.
Man is having a little boogie there, boy.
Wow.
I think he co-signed Stavros.
So I mentioned, I mentioned my dislike of it, in passing on whatever. So I was cussing the thing.
High five.
So, anyways, the person that has my number and my brother's number sent my brother a message, and and part of that message was, go back to your woman. Don't worry about anybody else because they know I have a natural haired woman, because I mentioned it on the podcast that I made sure I chose a woman that had natural hair. And they said
I have natural hair. Just want to put that out.
The woman, somebody that doesn't cover their beautiful natural hair with nonsense waist. That's what I said then. That's what I chose. All right.
Is that what you said?
Something maybe even worse than that. That's
wow.
On the podcast, I actually remember what he said.
Right.
The problem with the podcast is what he said was, we was talking about people getting abused. Like black women getting abused, and getting a cast and getting blah blah blah.
What I said was a joke, by the way.
It was a joke, but when you're at that moment in time, it was an inappropriate joke, I would say.
Okay, fair enough.
So we were talking about black women getting abused and them always getting cast.
Not physically, by the way.
Yeah,
like,
just abused.
Black men down in on black.
Verbally
and then
abused.
Stav decided that was the time to then say, well, if they wear makeup or weave, then yes, they should get abused. Yes, they should even get a slap. Yes, you added that as well.
Yeah, but I didn't say it like that though.
It's not funny, but
I didn't say it like that.
You didn't say it like that.
No, I said it differently. But
you said it. You said it at that time.
I said chat-ish get banged.
That's what you said. Yes.
Exactly.
No, but you also said they should also. Yeah, but you.
No, that's what. No, that's what. The first bit you said. Yeah, but I didn't say they should get a slap.
Yeah. Chat shit get banged. Yeah, you put that in there. Sorry.
I said it as a joke. Yeah, I said it under my breath. I didn't even think the microphone caught it.
But it did though.
But it did, and the person was upset.
And so somebody got offended by that.
Okay. Anyways, blah blah blah.
Rightly
so. I got upset, not because you had an issue with what I said, and not because because he keeps bringing up this thing about the chat is get banged, but the person had an issue with me mentioning the hair. I'm
just saying that was part of it. I'm not saying it's my problem.
But they never mentioned that.
I'm not saying that's my problem.
So you don't have to keep bringing it in. If they didn't talk about it, you don't have to talk about it.
But Tops didn't hear it, so I wanted them to hear the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you're not listening to my point. They didn't mention that as part of their message. So why do you have to mention it all the time? That's not what they complained about.
Okay.
All right. So maybe they knew that bit was a joke, but they know how I feel about the hair, so they knew that bit was not a joke. All right. So, anyways, they made their thing, and I had an issue with the fact that they brought up my wife. So even though
did you mention how they brought up their wife?
I guess I did.
Okay. Sorry.
I said that they said go to your own woman, your own wife with her own natural hair. Don't worry about the rest of us. Stop mentioning everybody else that has weave or straight hair. Leave us alone. Now I don't have an issue with her having an issue with me saying what I'm saying. What I had an issue was that she mentioned my wife's name at all. Even though she didn't go and say anything insulting about my wife, I don't like the fact that my wife's name was brought up in the conversation at all, because I don't think she needed to be. Taking into account that you're very angry, there was a lot of swearing and stuff, and I wasn't actually talking to you per se. Yes, you might have, something that I insulted, but I wasn't insulting you. I didn't mention your name. Mm-hmm. So that was that. So that's where I see that
have you insulted that person about those two things in the past?
I don't know.
Yes, you have. Okay. But anyway, Karen.
Okay, well, just now, Tops is in the room. I've insulted. Did I insult you just now? You can say yes.
You didn't insult me.
I made negative comments about.
Well, you talked about how you were technically that's not.
Were you offended?
Was I offended? No.
Okay. Well, the point is that it would have been a similar type of situation. I don't hide my distaste of it, and if it comes up, I'll cuss it. I don't care who's in the room. I'll cuss it. And if
the thing is, you can have a disdain for it, and that's fine. But then the thing is, it's like I probably would have said something similar. Well, you need to focus on your own wife.
Oh,
I don't see any. Me?
Why do I need to focus on my wife?
Because that's all that should concern you.
Yes.
The fact that your wife doesn't wear it.
You don't believe that. You don't believe that. You don't. I guarantee you don't believe that.
If you watch,
I bet my life you don't believe.
Please don't.
Hold on. If you watched candid conversations, you'll get a deeper understanding of when it comes to women and their hair and the weave and all this other stuff.
Nonsense.
Just how touchy it is.
We know it's touchy.
You can say anything, right? In fact, you can construct a sentence like this: cheese, wine, goat, weave, and it doesn't make sense. And they will just bang. They'll just grab the weave aspect of things and just start pamming you for it.
It's not even that. It's not even that.
And even if whatever you say makes sense, they still don't.
It's not even that.
There's still some sort of collective
self-defense
outrage.
mechanism.
Yeah, defense mechanism, touchiness around here.
It's not
which is
that.
why I'm not referring
for me.
I'm not referring to you. I'm not referring to you. Which is why I'm saying I'm not surprised that they've come for you. But obviously, with the whole swearing and the cursing and all this other stuff, obviously that's clearly not needed. But it hasn't shocked me. It hasn't shocked me that they've come for anything. And you know, it hasn't shocked me that she would have that reaction as well.
Can I ask you a question then?
Go on,
Joseph. Sorry, I know you was about to say, but I just wanted to get to you. If somebody said to you, after you kept on saying this thing about the weave, if you had natural hair, and we know we have it underneath there, but if you just wear your natural hair all the time, and that person said to you, if you hate weave so much, just go and face your wife. Don't disturb us women with weave. Would you have a problem with it?
No.
Would you have a problem with it as a wife?
No.
I would like to repeat.
That's because he feels strongly about the whole weave thing.
No,
clearly.
The issue is, I said something on a podcast. Somebody has my. There's facets to this. You have my number and you have my brother's number. First of all, I wasn't talking to you, so you don't need to call me at all. And then on top of that, you don't need to call my brother. And it's not like she called him. She sent a message just to insult. She said, "Send this to your brother."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, she said, "Tell your brother."
All right. Excuse me. Sorry. I know. Okay,
because he's very pedantic about these words.
Okay,
He is, actually.
all right.
He is.
Okay. If you wanted me to know this, you could have sent it to me yourself. So I don't like. As far as I'm concerned, you were, and like I said, it was swearing and I don't even get why you're defending it.
Because I don't see there's anything wrong with that particular sentence.
Let me
you asked me before
hold on.
if they said this about my own wife, would I have a problem with it? I told you
no.
no.
Listen to me. If that message was directed at you, you wouldn't have it, would you?
No, that particular part,
no,
I would have no issue
No,
with.
listen to what I'm saying. No, don't change the question.
You're changing goalposts.
No.
The problem that you had was you telling me about your wife. Don't talk about my wife.
No.
Don't talk about my wife.
If you answer the question,
was that not the problem?
That's why you kept saying.
So why are we going on to anything else about it?
Why you mentioned
my wife? First of all, stop shouting.
I told you could be vexed at the fact that she's screaming and she's swearing and she's being abusive towards you. That no problem. But don't come tell me don't talk about my wife.
Can I finish?
That's bullshit.
Can I finish? I have said that if she said it differently, it would be a different matter.
No, you said don't talk about my wife.
You did keep repeating that. Don't
yes,
talk about
because the approach given was very aggressive and rude, and you involved my wife.
You're changing it now.
No,
Yeah, but
you're being disingenuous.
You know what?
I'm
You know
not.
what?
You are being disingenuous because we took this on holiday, you know. We took this on holiday, and all he kept on saying was, "Yes, she was aggressive and blah blah blah." Blah, blah, blah. And then we even asked the question. We asked you the question and said, even if she wasn't swearing, if she wasn't thinky, would you still have a problem? And you said, I would still have a problem with talking about my wife.
I think with this particular situation, I think you opened yourself up for people to address your wife.
My wife.
Yeah, in this situation, because the thing is, we get it a lot on Candid when people make comments about hair and stuff, and it's fine, whatever, you can have your opinion. But I think if you just directed it, look, I prefer my wife or my woman to be a certain way, nobody can come for you for that because that's your wife. But then when you open it up and make it general to all of us and involve all of us, and be like, I have a disdain, anyone that wears it, I'm gonna come for them. I don't like it. Even now, you made a comment, and I'm sat right in front of you, and you didn't have any regard for how maybe I would feel saying that. So for me, if I can't get angry at you having a personal preference for the way your wife wears her hair, but then when you now open it up to the rest of us, then you've opened me up to have an opinion
about my wife.
No. I'm going to say to you that you can have that opinion, direct the energy to your wife.
But if you said it respectfully, like you said.
So your issue is not what she said, it's how she said it.
It's both. And
but you just said if she said it the way I said it, you wouldn't.
Yeah, but my point is that is both.
Right.
If she could have been disrespectful and not mentioned my wife, and it wouldn't have been a problem. She could have been disrespectful and mentioned my wife, and it would have been a problem.
So your issue is
so
that she
both.
mentioned your wife.
And
but her counter argument could be then you should have just, but you've involved all of us by making that comment.
I didn't talk to you personally.
So with this with this DJ Envy,
Yes,
with this
let's go back
DJ
to that.
Envy thing.
Yeah, we've gone completely.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I like you, bruv. Jeez.
How did that make you feel when he listened from the second those two they came and sat down, he pressed them. Bearing in mind, this is something that happened a few months ago, but I can see just how passionate you are, like any other man would be about their wife, even if, and for me, it's the same. It's like the same thing with how women are with weave. If you got an issue with me, you can say anything, blah 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 blah. The second I hear your wife or second I hear her name,
exactly,
He's a pussy.
So-
He's a pussy-o. He's a pussy-o.
So-
DJ Envy's a pussy-o.
You think so? Why?
Let me tell you why he's a pussy-o. Because if you had a problem, when they said it on their show right in front of your face, you get up and you say to them, what the fuck did you just say about my wife?
They didn't say it on his show.
On the show that they were sitting there talking to him directly in front of him.
Yeah, but he did bring it up.
he did. He pressed them.
I'm
He
talking
pressed them
about
straight
when
away.
They said it to his face, isn't it?
No.
Oh, is they like talking in the background or something?
They said it on their own.
They said it in the show.
This is-
and
I thought he was on their show.
But he's the one that's arguing me about this. I said this and I said that. When I gave the explanation, I said they were watching a YouTube video and they were talking about it.
Be honest,
Okay, still, he's still a pussy-o.
All right, so
Let me tell you why he's still a pussy-o. So because I'm still going to say why he's a pussy-o, right? Because he has their number. If he wants to talk to them, man, I would have called them from. I don't need to do this on the show.
Yeah, but this is their rhetoric, innit? This is part of what they are and what they do.
What, pussy-os?
No, everything has to be done publicly in the public
Because
domain.
they made the comment public.
Exactly.
So
So what?
what? To address it
Listen,
publicly.
listen.
So the whole private conversation, maybe his followers may think that he's a pussy and he has to show his masculinity
I call that
in
man
the public
immediately.
domain.
I call that person immediately and say, whose wife are you talking to? And if you're a bad man, that person goes on whatever show they're on the next week and they say, you know what? I spoke to DJ Envy and he said that we said something about his wife and we apologize.
I agree with you.
Bad man move in silence. They don't go and throw
I
themselves
agree
on.
with you, bro. But
See,
this
I
is the way that they move.
I think they've made those comments and it's completely gone over his head. But I reckon his wife
In
has
hindsight,
pressed him for it.
Pressed
And he's
him harder.
Yo, you know how it goes.
You did say that.
Are you seeing how these men are talking about your wife, blah, blah, blah? And you already know he's in the doghouse forever because
Exactly.
he cheated. So, and even when you're looking at the interview on the, is it called The View? What's it called?
Yeah.
Like even when the way she's sitting and the way she's talking about the whole situation, you can tell she's still bitter about it. There's a lot of this taste in her mouth because she's like, when he said, "Oh, at home I'm Rashawn, but in the streets I'm DJ Envy," she was like, "Oh, I didn't know this DJ Envy." Like you can just tell she's still bitter about it.
Listen.
So I know. So I can imagine something like that's happened, and she's absolutely pammed him. Like, how can you let these man? Who are these guys? You put them on. How can you let them be talking about your wife? Blah, blah, blah. So months have gone by. They've come on the show, and he's absolutely pressed them.
Yeah.
And then to the point where he's got upset and he's walked off.
And look like the pussy-o.
Shoot me for this one. But I feel like he's a chief for this, and I also feel like, more importantly, I feel like she was chatting shit when she said that she knew whatever his real name is, but she didn't know DJ Envy. Bullshit. Complete
You know
bullshit.
what she meant. You know
When
what
they
she
first met. And the thing that makes him more of a pussy-o, sorry, I know I'm calling this boy a pussy-o, but he is have you seen what they said after? Have you seen the new show?
No, what happened?
They're just cussing him even more. They're just cussing him down. They told him to suck their dick, blah, blah, blah.
Because he made a fool of himself.
Yeah.
You like, I understand. Listen,
I didn't see that, bro.
listen. Me personally, if you're making jokes and you're making jokes, like I'm cool. Like I throw jokes all day, every day. I throw them out. I can receive them as well. But when you come for, and with most people, if you come for people's kids, you're as good as written off, and we're not even talking about
kids,
me not talking.
mother.
You're like, you're done. You're
Immediate
done for.
family.
And then so when you're talking about people's wives, I can understand the feeling and the reason why he pressed hard. But for me, I'm not waiting a couple of months before I see you.
Yes, brother.
The second I see that, if I really have a problem with it, the second I see that video, I'm on the phone and I'm like, yo, bro, what's this? What's this? Anything short of I'm sorry and I'm going to do a public apology is the next time I see you, it's on site.
You pull up.
That's how it is.
You pull up.
Or it's, you know what? You come on that calm thing, oh, let me just talk to you, blah, blah, blah. Go see, and then you go sort it out. You do it right there and then. Waiting 2, 3, 4, 5 months down the line, waiting for them to come on your show.
Bring them on your show.
And then you press them.
And then walk out.
And
Like
then,
Mr. Wolf said,
and then you walk out.
Pussy-o.
Come on.
She did know them DJ Envy checks though.
But the problem, his issue was that they're trying to imply that she's like a gold digger, and that's not what it is.
Or that she's only staying with him for the money.
Well, I mean, okay,
because they were talking. Because the whole point is they were talking about him cheating, and then he mentioned, but she knows how to handle them checks. Basically, insinuating that she's only sticking around for the fact that this guy is making bank.
Okay. Let's be trill. Let's be
very fast.
Let's be trill right now.
3 hours.
I love this wretched business.
Yes.
If he weren't making that money, would they still be together?
I'd like to pass this on to my attorney at hand, Victoria, to answer this question. If you were cheated on and I was making bank, would you be quick to leave me?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone want the last word? Because it will be the last word.
I think we're done, man.
Guys, let me say.
Forever done.
Forever. Jeez.
Yeah, there.
Okay.
Rubbing off on me, bro.
We're gonna go around and do our social media.
She wouldn't. If
that is the last word, isn't it?
So it's really all about whether the dick's good sometimes.
Whatever gives you comfort.
Oh God. The actor.
What's going on, people?
Church notes and social medias.
Pleasure. Thank you to the guests for coming down. We had a lovely time. The actor on Twitter, the actor on Instagram. I'm about.
Simple Simon
FB on Twitter. That is the only place I am. I don't do them Instagrams. Gaza.
Big Wahala.
Yo, at Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. Fat Watch this week. Fat Watch, by the way, is my weight thing I'm doing weekly. I'm at 122. So I've gone down 1 again. So I'm almost there.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Wolf.
I was going to recommend a book, but I can't find it. But Mr. Wolf, aka Mr. Wolf on Instagram, aka _Mr. Wolf on Twitter.
Just let us know anyway. Put it in there.
Children of Blood and Bone.
I was just gonna say
Yes.
I was like, can I recommend a book?
So you ready?
Yeah.
We were actually asked by her team to review it on the talk show that I'm part of. Her team reached out to us and asked us to read it before it was released.
Bare gas. I said, have you read it? You said you didn't say
I
yes.
I just had to let you guys know.
No, I'm supporting that. I like that. So how do you think of it?
I love the book. I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw it, I thought, oh my God, what is this fat wad? But once you start reading it, oh my days, like you get sucked in. It's
I might
a really
get
good
the book format, you know. I usually like to read on the iPads and stuff like that.
No, I need to touch paper. I need paper. I don't like Kindle.
I've got
I don't like that
two
stuff.
on order. They're on the way.
Ah,
I
was gonna say, can I be hood? If you get an extra copy, can I have one?
Jesus. Look at this sleeping bastard.
He is that kind of guy.
Begging.
All right. So
I found the book.
I'm just asking a question.
I'll just put this in. It's for youngsters. I'd say. Anyway, for my daughter, she's 8 years old, and I got this book. It's called Little Leaders: Bold Women in Black History.
But women
and it's
in black.
Sorry?
Bold. Okay, sorry.
Bold Women in Black History, and it's by Vashti Harrison. And I was reading this with my daughter, and she absolutely loves the book. After every bold woman that we read about, you know, we stood up and we saluted them. You know,
that's so nice.
And for me, reading it was fantastic, and having her read it to me as well was equally as good, and I recommend it to anybody.
You should get to Kunle though. She's your right.
She does that to her elders.
That is good. Thank God.
She don't mess around.
Okay, I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. This week, Stavros Says is a podcast. It's called The Inquiry. It's by the BBC World Services. The Inquiry spelled with an I, so INQUIRY.
Inquiry.
Well, they say Inquiry, but okay, Inquiry. And it's a short form podcast about
Bush boy.
Between 20 to 25. Yes, I'm Bush. Between 20 to 25 minutes, they pick a topic and they dissect it. They have 4 experts to discuss it, and it's just really, 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 really good. So I suggest you listen to that as well as ours.
After ours, then.
Yeah, after ours. Tops is after our 3-hour massive episode. Tops is falling asleep, but she will say her church notes. And in fact, we'll leave Topsy there. Actually, would you like to say your goodbyes and any social medias or anything you want to share?
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me on. It's been a really, really unique experience.
Unique.
You can catch me on Instagram. I'm not going to give you my Twitter because I don't feel like being pammed this week. But you can find me on J.O. Silva on Instagram. I'm usually floating around on that. Once again, guys, thanks for having me.
And the lady. Save the best to last.
Of course. What was it? So my socials and what?
Anything you want to pick up, and what you want to pick up your
Plugs. Any plugs?
Yes,
Plugs.
There you
Okay,
go.
so my
You
socials.
call them church notes.
My socials are SincerelyTops. It's one word. That's on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And what I want to plug is I'm working with Advice on a 3-part event series called Can Women Have It All? So it's an event series where we are exploring the society's pressures on marriage, family, and career.
So that's why you're attacking me earlier, yeah?
So, no, that's why I was trying to educate you.
Educate us.
Yeah.
Attack.
So similar to what we were talking about with the whole Cardi B situation, we're going to use that event is going to be about discussing our pressures and whether women can truly have it all. So that's coming up. Tickets are available on Advice, so ADZVICE.com/Can Women Have It All, but it's the hashtag, so CWHIA.
That's CWHIA.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, we are good.
All right, so...
and thanks for having me on as well.
Yes.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, we
Thank you
appreciate
for coming back.
both guests, man.
Yes.
We've had some wonderful guests for the past 2 weeks. Fantastic. Thank you very much, guys.
Yes. Collectively, we are at ESN Podcast. If you're joining us for the first time because one of these guys has promoted us, it's not usually this long, but it is always this fun. So we are at ESN Podcast on all the socials. Search for Eloquently Saying Nothing on Facebook and you'll find us there. You can email us any questions, comments at esnpodcast@gmail.com. And please use the hashtag ESNpod for any comments. If you want to come at Joseph for his sexist comments, please hashtag ESNpod. If you want to defend Tops for the weave and say, listen, I got your back, that bastard Stav is a bastard and we'll crow him down, it's hashtag ESNpod. And if you want to big up that actor and say, we want your monologue back, please don't worry about the rest of them. It's hashtag ESNpod. So thank you very much for listening. It was a very long one. I have to try and edit this down because it's 3 hours now. But thank you anyways. Peace.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you ain't saying nothing, say it all.
Slag for life.
Cha-la-la-la-la-la, boom boom chile.
Why don't you do one for like a film?
Fuck a film you all know. Go watch some more fucking films. Yeah? I ain't gonna do Superman for you,
Just say
alright?
slag for life.
Slag for life.
Like, explain it to him because his face looks like
Everyone's face is the same.
It's like an acronym.
So it's like,
SLA.
no, it's like whole for house.
S4L.
So you know when people say things like whole for house?
Like actually,
Actually, whole for life.
for life.
No.
No, what is that show?
Like for money, someone who works for money. Someone
It's a different. It's a prostitute. You know,
Okay.
slag is not a
Sex
prostitute. Slag for life means basically enjoy it. Not having
so you're a slag for
like
life.
whole for house. Basically.
No, he said it. Like, yes, by definition, you're a slag for life. Live life to the fullest. Don't worry that it's 1 o'clock in the morning because...
We're still getting to the
Wow, happy.